doing the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, do we want to start tuning in here? See what's happening?
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah. Just
Jesus.
Just FYI, I'm gonna be in and out. I've got to pick up my my Uber Eats food, and as well as like do my laundry while this is going on. So
What'd you order?
I'm actually ordering right now. I'm prepping you guys for when I eventually get my food. But
real professional, John, and I'm the one who gets shit. God, he's fucking doing laundry.
See, Paul, you cut this part out. That's why.
I'm leaving it all.
I think I'm getting chicken tikka masala.
Yeah, this is the behind the scenes week of fucking Real Politik.
Right, is that in reference to Kamala Harris being the first Indian American woman?
Yes, Chris, I'm glad you noticed. I'm getting chicken tikka masala and one baked potato.
Kamala chicken masala.
The most powerful idea
I do not support that joke.
in the history of the
Kamala
world.
chicken
I do not
masala
support
Harris.
that joke. That joke does not represent the show.
I think that was pretty
beats in
good.
the heart of the people of this country.
Dude, we got Indian listeners. They'll appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm
one.
ordering it. That means I love it, and therefore I love my Indians, okay?
Love the
This time next
Hindu
year,
race.
I hope the virus is in check.
But the potato joke is okay, right?
Yeah, that's totally
Definitely
fine.
always. John Meacham, dude. He's a Vandy professor.
Unity in our country.
He is?
This is what I
Yeah.
hope to see next year.
I hope we've chosen
This time next year, labor will still be fucked.
unity over division.
I'm Doug Jones from Alabama. I'm gonna get my ass whooped this year.
America will have faced its darkest moment.
I don't know how I'm here, and I won't be here for long.
I'm really enjoying my 5 minutes in the spotlight.
No more pain.
This time next year, I hope
You know,
that the U.S.
in
government
typical
is accountable to us,
Republican
and that
fashion,
guarantees healthcare
they,
as a human right.
you know, choose a pedophile rapist to go against an awful Democrat, and of course the awful Democrat wins.
Gosh.
It's kind of something with the 2020 race there, I think. Some kind of analogy there.
I was gonna say that feels like what's happening right now.
Some kind of tie-in.
Yeah.
This time next year,
You know.
we are listening less to the Russians. and more
Whatever.
to Dr.
Jesus.
Say what you want about Joe Biden, definitely not a pedophile. I can't say the same thing about Donald Trump.
They are unemployed.
Yo, Daniel Day Kim.
Donald Trump.
This time next year,
Haven't seen him in anything since Lost.
whether they are Democrats
He looks great,
or
though.
independents
He does
or
look
Is
great.
that who that was?
proud
Yeah.
Of their president. Will be
Yeah, he was
proud
one of the
their vice
Korean
president.
And that
couple
our
on.
recovery
Yeah, I remember.
families up in communities.
Yang gang.
That people
Yango?
believe they have a government
What was the name for Elizabeth Warren fans?
that's out there every day
Pocahontas.
doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, something.
the tribe.
The tribe. Yeah, I think it was.
Was it actually the tribe?
No.
I think we both just
No.
thought of the same joke.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious.
No.
Next year, I want a
The
president who understands what
tribe.
military families need.
Who cares about
Dude, her entire base was like
of disabled
upper middle class New
Care about
York
our
libs.
environment again.
Just terrible.
I knew a lot of people.
I hope we have a
That was one that I
president
heard
who's
most
ready
frequently
to
were
A year from
were
now,
Elizabeth
I
Warren
want to see
fans,
the
like out in
kids playing
public.
on the playground.
Was it from the New York, Brooklyn establishments?
But next year,
It was from those types. I'm trying to remember what city I was in specifically when I heard that.
They
Pod Save America,
like
John.
wearing those elf beanies where it's like way too long at the back. It's like you look like a dwarf from Sleeping Beauty, or no, Snow White. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Mhm.
Yeah, get your folklore right.
Yeah, you're right. I should do better.
This time next year,
As a pagan, I should really have my folklore.
As a pagan and a dwarf for that matter.
And a dwarf and a dwarf barbarian.
with liberty and justice for all.
This time next year, I want
Dude,
Joe Biden in the
you
Oval
know,
Office.
Just as a quick recap of the previous nights, two things that have pissed me off entirely is one, the amount of Republicans.
Hello, America. I'm Andrew Yang.
Gang, gang.
You know me
Gang,
as
gang.
the president talking about math.
We should listen to this.
Unfortunately,
I'll follow up.
that future is now. The pandemic has accelerated everything. If you're like me and my wife, Evelyn, you don't know if your child's school is going to reopen this fall. 72% of Americans believe that this is the worst time we have ever experienced.
You ain't got those stats?
And 42% of the jobs that have been lost, millions of jobs, will never return. We are in a deep, dark hole, and we need leaders who will help us dig out. I know many politicians promise and then fail to deliver. If you voted for Trump or didn't vote at all back in 2016, I get it. Many of us have gotten tired of our leaders seeming far removed from our everyday lives, and we despair that our government will ever rise to the challenges of our time. But we must give this country, our country, a chance to recover. And recovery is only possible with a change of leadership and new ideas. Bold and innovative policies that will get help into your hands in the midst of this crisis are now possible. But we need your help to turn the page for our country in 75 days. We are here tonight to celebrate Joe Biden's nomination as the Democratic candidate for president. I have gotten to know both Joe and Kamala on the trail over the past year. The way you really get to know a person when the cameras are off, the crowds are gone. It's just
no
one
way.
He knows they're real people. They understand the problems we face. They are parents and patriots who want the best for us and our country. And if we give them the chance, they will fight for us and our families every single day. Our future is now, and it is daunting. But I ask you tonight to join me to help Joe and Kamala fight for the promise of America, turn the page for our country, and lead us forward to a future we'll actually be proud to leave to our children.
Foreign policy cred.
And now I'd like to turn it over to a great Democrat who will be with us throughout the evening. Between the two of us, we have 11 Emmys. How's that for math? One of my favorite actresses, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Hey, Julia.
Hi, Andrew. It's so glad to see you.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
So what did you think about Kamala Harris's speech last night?
God damn it.
It was tremendous. I was so happy for her.
I know,
Turn it
me
down
too.
a little
She's
bit, Paul.
fabulous.
It's like
I
you're
cannot
screaming
wait
at
to
us.
see her debate
Jesus.
with our current vice president.
Can you stop being a cunt?
It's pronounced
I feel like
Ponce,
I'm
I
being
believe.
yelled at. I get yelled at enough at work.
Kind of weird foreign name.
Yeah, not very American sounding.
I get yelled at enough at
People
home.
are saying strongly.
Is that too loud for you?
Well,
No, it's perfect.
thank you, Andrew, and please give my regards to the gang.
Give my regards to the
next
gang.
room. Have a great night,
Dude.
Thank you so much.
Julia
Good evening,
Louis-Dreyfus
America, and
is
welcome to the fourth night of the 2020 Democratic National Convention.
I'm like frustrated
Uniting
she's
America.
doing it because I love her.
Okay, these last few nights have been going so well.
She's
We
better than
decided
the
to add
fucking-
a fifth night where we will just play
What the
Michelle
fuck was that
Obama's
show
speech
that chick was
on a
on?
loop.
Seinfeld?
I first met Joe Biden
No, the
when
first
I was
night
doing
lady.
my show, Veep.
Veep.
I
The
Oh,
first
no. Eva Longoria.
Eva Longoria.
the vice
What was she on?
president, and we hit it off.
Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, that shit. I never
Soon
watched it.
after, I was asked to be
Fucking
on the
Hey,
cover.
I
I'm
actually-
not supposed to ask. I
Remember
know I'm not
those?
supposed to ask
And I
about
was
the
so
clothing, but
excited. It was like,
have they
oh,
all
it's gonna
have
be
all the
People
MCs been
or
wearing
Vogue
white
or
every
Rolling
night?
Stone. Well,
Possibly.
It turns out it was for Arrive.
Probably
the
homages
official
to Hillary,
on-board
right?
magazine of Amtrak.
Yeah, that's what I was
which
thinking,
nobody
actually.
ever reads, even though it's free. And the day it came out,
Or they're like
my
they're
phone
like
rang,
the
and it was the vice
the
president
ghosts of future
telling me
of
he
Christmas
loved the
past,
cover
present, and
and
future,
the whole
like
article, and that it was
as
one
a
of the best
psychopath
issues of Arrive
guiding
he
me
had
through
ever
my
read.
own
And that
moral
is
life.
just one of the many reasons that I wanted to be here tonight for Joe. And to remind you that Joe Biden not only knows how to read, but also he reads everything. You know, I am no policy expert, and I certainly don't pretend to be one.
That
but
joke?
I have a gut feeling about fairness and
I don't know if it
and that is why I am
is, but I
so
liked it.
excited.
I think it was.
landed.
It feels like
liked it.
It feels like a Trump joke, but I didn't really
that
get
helps
it.
working people and small businesses,
She's,
not just billionaires, and plans
she's
to
dropped
raise
in
the
a
wages
few
for the
jokes,
nurses and
and
teachers
I
and
just have a
grocery
feeling that,
workers
like,
that are getting us through
this is an
crisis,
awful
God
medium for
willing.
comedy.
So, how
Yeah.
can you help?
Like listening to comedians discuss like doing
Right
Zoom
now, you
shows.
can text
It
vote
sounds
to
awful.
30330
Dude, try
and learn
listening to
about
or
all
watching a
of your voting
sitcom
options and
without
make
the
the
laugh
best plan
track. They're
for
not
how to vote in
funny.
your
Have you
community,
done it with
wherever you are.
friends? It's
Yeah.
horrifying.
Remember,
It's terrifying.
30330.
It's
Like
like
Ross.
yeah.
That's
Ross
the
is
year Donald
legitimately
Trump will
like
finally release his tax return.
possibly like He's definitely a misogynist for sure.
Psychopath.
Yeah, psychopath. For sure, dude.
Yeah, they've filtered it out on YouTube. I think you can still find them
with no laugh track. It's hard to watch.
It really, it's cringe.
The YouTube
is a huge bitch. What is huge bitch with no live track?
Okay. All right, ready and action.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to a republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's cute, kid.
Cute kid. So let me go back to my second point of what's really ticked me off, and we could probably talk about this for a minute. Okay.
Let's just listen to Dixie Chicks thing.
No, I don't want to. Take it off.
You disrespect
Turn it up.
I'm all the way up. All the way up.
Auto-tune Dixie Chicks.
Dude.
You guys aren't standing in your apartments right now.
No one is going to fucking listen to this because of this bullshit. Paul Holden.
I don't think they were going to listen to it anyways.
The second thing that I was going to mention was, dude, and they've kept on playing this game the whole entire time. Like the whole convention, it's been, if you don't come out and vote like you didn't in 2016, we're going to get another 4 years of Trump, and it's all going to be your fault for not showing up to vote for Joe Biden. You have to vote for Joe Biden. You didn't show up for Clinton. Fuck you. You suck. Come vote for Biden, you little piece of shit. And, dude, I am really frustrated about it. I am really fucking frustrated about it because the party has had 4 years to practice just a teeny bit of introspection, right? And what did that introspection lead to? 3 nights of fucking Republican assholes like Colin Powell, who is actually a war criminal and like lied to the whole entire world on the United States behalf.
When did he talk?
He talked, I think, last night.
Yeah, I think it was last night. They had him on the montage to start this show.
So it's like, God damn, dude, this party really is going to become Republican light, and then we're just going to have 2 Republican parties.
That's all
it's
it
like
is.
Ultra conservatives, and then, we'll at least put lube on before we fuck you in the ass, and the Democrats.
I mean, the entire platform, too, is about pandering to the, center right. So it's, Trump's lost his mind and he's gone way far to the right. So, come to us because we're in the center, so we're actually closer to you instead of actually trying to have anything that you stand for that's important or meaningful. You're just being cucks for the people that feel like they don't align with Trump anymore. So you're telling your actual base to go fuck themselves, which is why there's no fucking Medicare for all in the goddamn DNC fucking base right now, right? Why didn't they put that into their platform? It's not binding. Biden doesn't have to run on it. It was a choice because they don't fucking care. They don't care what the left wants. They care what the right wants.
I haven't even actually looked at the platform. Is it worth anything?
No, it's shit.
Yeah, platforms are not worth the paper they're printed on.
That's true.
It's at least a signal, right? Like, you put M4A on that, it's a signal that, this is something we want to move towards because, 85% of our party wants it. 85% of Democrats want it. They don't fucking put it in.
Yeah, but, the leadership doesn't want it, right?
No. Because they want
and that's the only part that matters.
They don't give a fuck about anyone else but the Republicans right now. Because they care about winning.
As what I'm consuming, I watched the Swamp on HBO the other day.
People of faith have long led change.
Who's
from
that?
Abolition and women's suffrage to the labor movement. And the
Senator Chris Coons.
Can y'all hear this? I can barely hear this.
Inspired
Turn it
by
up a little bit
respect
louder,
for the
but just a
dignity of
little
all
bit.
people.
When I did that, you
Joe believes
bitched,
from
dude.
made in the image of God.
You had it like
Joe learned
at
that from his parents.
99%.
The nuns
I
and
had it
priests
under
in Delaware
halfway.
taught him and inspired in him a passion
And I could
for
still barely
justice.
hear it.
I'm Senator Chris Coons of Delaware, and I want to tell you
Chris
about my
Coomer.
friend, Joe Biden. His faith is strong, and it's personal and private. For Joe, faith isn't a prop or a political.
Oh, this is the.
I've known Joe about
This is the
30 years, and
religious
I've seen his
bit.
faith in action.
Yeah.
Joe knows the power.
So far, we've
and
got
I've
we've
seen
got
it in
his
moments of
private
joy
bit,
and triumph, of
and now
loss
we've
and
got
despair.
religious
Turn
bit.
to
So
God
yeah, they
for
are
strength.
pretty much appealing to
Joe's
the center
comforted
right.
me in my toughest moments, as he has so many others. I'll never forget how Joe took the time to offer me words of
Amber Alert.
comfort as my father lay in hospice. Time and again, I've seen him
Where are the
stop
Clintons?
everything and listen, really listen, to someone who needs a shoulder
Both
to cry
Clintons
on,
have
or a
already
partner in
spoken.
prayer. That compassion, that empathy is part of his character. More than anything,
No, I was
Joe's
making a
a
joke
man
about
of
the Amber
faith
Alert.
and conscience. He'll be a president for Americans of all faiths, as well as people
It
of
was
conscience
funny.
who practice no
Whoosh.
particular faith. Joe's faith is really about our future, about a world with less suffering and more justice, where we're better
All right,
stewards
guys,
of creation,
Penang curry or
where
yellow
we have a more
curry?
just immigration policy.
Oh, yellow
where
curry
we call out and
always.
confront the original sins of this nation,
My man.
the sins of slavery and racism.
Always
Joe
yellow
knows
curry.
these are central issues in this election, and for him, they're rooted in faith.
Oh
Joe knows
God,
that
I'm
his faith
already
has sustained
bored.
So many ordinary
They
Americans who do
explicitly
extraordinary
refer
things.
to it
Nurses
in
who
religious
brave
language,
infection,
the original
firefighters who
sins
run
of
into
this
burning
nation.
buildings,
I didn't know
teachers
that
working
that
overtime,
was like
especially now.
language
They all
that
deserve
people
a
on the
servant
left
leader
actually
who
use.
knows the dignity of
I
work,
thought that was kind
who
of
sees
a
them, respects them, fights for them. We need a president who
right
brings
people,
of
right-wing
all
people
faiths
critique
together to
people that
tackle
way.
our
Well, I
challenges,
think they've
rebuild
just
our
accepted
country,
it because they
and
were like,
restore our
yeah,
humanity.
you know what?
Someone who
It
knows
was
we're
original
called
sin.
to do justice, love
Yeah.
mercy, and walk humbly with our God.
That's
Joe
like
Biden will
a
be that
deeply.
president.
I would say that's a
Joe's
deeply
always known this race as a
controversial
battle for the
Catholic
soul of our country, and he's right.
belief.
Joe believes. He believes in both the
Yeah.
greatness and the
The
goodness
source,
of this
the source of
country.
Catholic
He believes
guilt.
in us and in what we can do
At
together.
what point do you think we
My
start
question
actually
is,
praying to
what
our
is your
representatives?
And how
Oh, you
would you
don't?
use your faith
So,
in
like,
making decisions for our
I
nation?
lost my keys. I'm going to pray to Joe
Reverend,
Biden to help me find those, right?
I kind of
Well, that's what Thanks Obama was.
family.
Ah.
My heart goes
Yeah,
out
what did you
to
think
them.
everyone was doing for 8
Remember,
years?
After Barack and Michelle
I guess
and I were there,
prank.
my family, I came back on that Sunday, the regular service, because I had just lost my son. And
Jesus, dude. They're going to
I
make
wanted
this
some
really difficult
hope.
for us to
because what you
to
all did
provide
was astounding. I don't know if
funny
you all know
commentary.
Yeah, how are we supposed to
All
make fun
those
of this? It's not
who
fair.
died were killed
Just sad.
by this white supremacist.
Like, yeah, Bo Biden
They
sound like
forgave him.
he was probably a pretty good
They
dude.
forgave him. The ultimate act of
And
Christian
Joe
charity.
Biden has had a lot of
They
death in his
forgave
family, and it's really tragic.
And you know,
That's
Reverend,
really tragic and sad.
I'm not proselytizing. I happen to be a practicing Catholic. But I went back to the church because I found, particularly,
Can we go back to John
The black
Kasich
church.
standing at a crossroad?
in this case with an AME.
That's what I'm saying.
it was
Looking
not
like Jared from
Episcopal church.
Subway.
I found that there's that famous phrase from Kierkegaard, faith sees best in the dark.
Ooh,
I find the
Kierkegaard.
one thing it gives
Respect.
me, and I'm not trying to proselytize, I'm not trying to convince you to share my religious views. But for me, it's important
Is
because
that actually like pretty eloquent?
it gives me some reason to
Oh,
have
dude, you
hope
know they picked every
and
single clip
purpose.
of him completing thoughts.
But it wasn't even just completing thought, like it was
Joe
actually
Biden goes
very.
Yeah, it was really
so
well.
regularly
Yeah.
that he doesn't even need tear
Really well
gas and a
said.
bunch of federalized troops to help
A
him get
a Christian who even knows
Whoa.
who Kierkegaard is.
For
He
your
doesn't
right
need
to
tear
vote
gas
in
and
John
federalized troops
Here
to
to
help
speak
him
about him
win.
and his legacy, we have one of our great
Dude, do you
winners,
think they
Lance
just
Keisha
let
Lance
Julia
Bottoms.
say whatever the
Mayor
fuck she
Bottoms,
wanted?
That's what it
hello. I know
feels
that
like.
you're recovering from the coronavirus. How are you feeling?
That was such a fuck you
He's like,
comment.
I'm going to do this,
Well, good
but fuck
evening.
you. I
I
get to
feel
say
really
exactly
good.
what I
Thank
wanted
you
to
Dude, she's
say.
the baller
My
of the
husband,
night,
on
I
the other
think.
hand, is still having many of the
Dude,
lingering
she's the
side
baller
effects that
of
people
life.
talk about, but all in all, our family's doing great.
Stealing the
Well, I'm
show.
glad to hear it.
Her
But boy, I think a
portrayal
lot
of Selena
Americans
Myers
are
on Veep
Gonna be dealing
really
with that for a
is
long time.
one of the
Hey,
most
Mayor, I wanted to ask you
perfect
something.
representations
is Atlanta
of
ready
American
for Election Day?
political actors I have ever seen on
We
any
will
television
be
show.
ready, and we are going to do everything
You know,
that we
there's
can
this
to make
there's
sure
this
that voting goes
thing that it's
smoothly.
like, you
But
know,
we are encouraging
conservatives
people,
think
if you
politics
can
is
vote
like House
early
of
in your
Cards,
state,
and
to please
liberals
do
think
so.
politics is
Early
like the
vote
West
during
Wing.
the early
But I'm
vote.
telling you, dude,
Perfect.
politics is
Excellent
Veep.
advice. Over 40 states now allow
Politics
some
in real
form
life
of early
is
voting.
Veep.
Okay, stay safe, Mayor.
I gotta be
and
honest, I've
turn it
never
over
seen
to
Veep.
you.
It's worth
I
a
haven't
watch, dude.
Well, thank you, Julia.
It's
and
definitely
good
worth a
evening.
watch. I've watched it a
I'm
couple
Keisha
of times.
Lance-Bottoms,
Great
Keisha
characters.
Lance-Bottoms.
and Mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, cradle of the
ATL.
civil rights movement.
There for a second,
And
I
like
thought
so
she was
many
going to
other
be
cities,
VP.
a
I wonder if
place
that's
where
why
the
they gave her a
struggle for
primetime
human
spot on
dignity
night 4.
continues.
Yeah, I was rooting for her,
I'm proud to
dude. I
have
thought
grown
she was
up in
pretty
this city.
sweet.
Educated in its public schools and blessed
I probably
to
would
have
have been
known
more
our
excited for her
hometown
than
heroes.
Kamala.
I would have been
would have
jazzed.
gotten a
Joseph
Southerner,
Lowry,
dude.
Dr. C.T.
Yeah,
Vivian,
dude, Southerner from
and our
ATL. You kidding
teacher,
me? I'm here for
our
it.
friend,
We got a fucking
our
Californian.
our congressman,
Yeah, goddamn
John Lewis.
coastal elites. All over
He
again, like we
walked
haven't been
gently
doing it
amongst us,
for most of our
not as a
goddamn
distant
lives.
icon,
There's
but
land
as
in
a
between the states. I just want some
God-fearing
fucking
man
attention.
who did what he could
Yeah, there's just a little
to
bit, right?
fulfill
Just a little
the
bit of
as
land in
yet
between fucking New York City and San
unfulfilled
Francisco.
promise
You
of
bastards.
America.
Just a
People
little
often
bit.
think that they can't make
You know,
a
it's not
difference,
just New York,
like our civil rights
California, and
icons.
goddamn Delaware.
But every person in the movement mattered. Those who made the sandwiches, swept the church
Yeah, DC's in there
floors,
too. Don't forget about them.
stuffed
That's
the
where everyone
envelopes.
works.
They
And then
too
they go back to New York.
changed America, and
Awful,
so
dude.
can we.
No,
The
it's cool. I
baton
have a
has
house
now
in
been
Kansas.
passed
I
to
just
each of
live
us.
in New Hampshire.
We've cried out for justice.
You know what? I'm
We have
actually a little
gathered
bit more
in our
excited
streets to
for
demand
the
change.
Republican
And
convention
now
because
we
I just
must
have a
pass
feeling
on
that they're
the
going to
gift
have some of the most
John Lewis
insane
sacrificed
people.
to give us.
Oh,
We must
dude,
register,
their lineup is
and
lit.
We must
Is
vote.
it?
It's so
In his
hilarious. I
parting
mean, they got the
essay,
My Pillow
Please
guy.
tell
to
me
us,
Ted Nugent is
Congressman
speaking.
Lewis expressed his
Kid
pride
Rock is. I'm not sure if
in the
Ted Nugent.
Oh!
activism that has swept
Even
the
better.
country.
Kid
Yeah.
Rock
And he
works.
reminded us
Yeah.
that
Kid
we
Rock
failed to
works.
The
exercise
Republicans
our
have
right
a
to
better
vote.
eye towards
We can
showmanship.
lose it.
Dude, pure
Than the
memetics.
There are
Democrats.
those
I
who
swear.
are disgracefully using this pandemic
Scott Baio
to
gonna show
spread
up again?
misinformation and interfere with voting.
I don't know, but I hope
Forcing
so.
many
I'd be
God,
down.
I hope
in
so, dude. That was a
2020
great call.
to still risk their lives. To
I wouldn't mind
exercise
seeing
their
Clint
sacred right
Eastwood
to vote.
talking to a
A
empty
right
chair
that has
again,
already
dude.
been paid
Yeah, bring
for
back
with
the chair
blood,
and
sweat,
Eastwood.
tears,
Yeah,
Yeah,
bring-
and
RNC
lives
greatest
of so
hits,
many.
Clint Eastwood.
So
Let-
let's
and,
stand
like,
Was that
up for
let
RNC
our
that he did
children,
that?
I thought it
our
was.
children,
No, that was a
Maybe.
Super Bowl commercial.
And for this great democracy,
What?
that
That was a
our
Super Bowl
ancestors
That was not a
worked to
Super Bowl
build.
commercial.
And
I'm
let's
almost
vote.
certain that was a Super Bowl
And let's
commercial.
organize to get
Hold on.
others to vote.
Producer, look it up.
I'm
You can
Googling it.
help
Yeah,
me
it was
Paul.
at the RNC.
by
You're
texting vote
on it.
It was at the RNC.
330
It was at the RNC?
330.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I get my
We know
political
how
conventions
important
and
it
the
is
Super Bowl
that we
confused.
They're just so similar.
Of Tim
Like Joe
Tebow
Biden
saying his mom
and Kamala
didn't abort
Harris.
him. That's what you're
People of
thinking of.
honor and
No,
integrity
no, I didn't even know
who
about
hold
that one.
justice
That
close
was a
to their
Super Bowl
hearts
ad.
and believe that the lives of
I'm Tim
my
Tebow, and
poor
my mom
black
didn't abort me.
children
So,
matter.
I'm really happy that
In the
she didn't do
words
that
of
because now I'm a
womanist poet
football
Audre
star.
Lorde, your silence will not
The rest of the world
protect you.
is tragically
Congressman
pressed that
Lewis
you were
would
aborted.
not be
I'm not
silent,
gonna fucking deal with
and
you.
neither can we.
You had your goddamn
We
chance,
cannot wait
Mrs.
for
Tebow.
some other
You
time,
bitch.
Damn it.
some other place, some
Oh
other
god.
hero.
I'm
In
gonna get-
2012, there was
We
a
must be the
Chrysler
heroes
commercial
of our generation,
narrated by Clint
because
Eastwood,
we
which
too
was
are
in the
America.
same spirit as
Our
his
votes
chair.
can
kind
be
of
our
thing.
voice.
Yeah, so we got the McCloskeys who wielded the guns at the Black Lives Matter protest in St. Louis.
What night are they speaking for?
They haven't listened to that yet, at least not that I can see.
Oh God, dude, we may
Dude.
not have to. We may be going to have to be strategic on which two nights we do.
Yeah. The couple was was charged with the felony for unlawful use of a weapon. But Trump told the state attorney general that they needed to drop the charges.
And did they?
No, they haven't yet. But
okay.
which they shouldn't drop the charges because they were out there waving loaded firearms at people, which is illegal.
Demonstrated the most
That's illegal?
Yeah, pretty illegal.
Castle doctrine.
Someone has to be in your castle.
I thought it was America.
It was America.
Yeah, I thought this was America.
You're telling me I can't wave guns at people on the street?
You telling me I can't bring my M16 assault rifle out and wave it at people? You're telling me that right now.
You know who did do that? Our favorite conspiracy theorist, William Cooper, and that's what got him shot by the police.
He was waving around an M16.
He had a little cabin in a super remote part of this town, and everyone would drive to his house.
Why are they always in cabins?
Because it's remote, dude. It's Ruby Ridge shit. So he was hiding up there, but his house was on a route to like a trailhead essentially that was public land. So whenever someone would drive by, he would run out and wave his gun at him, and then the cops finally came and like, dude, you can't keep doing that, and he started shooting at him, and he killed like a cop, and then they killed him.
Dude, you know, John Lewis may be one of the last badasses in Congress.
The work of our nonviolent campaigns into the halls of Congress.
Dude has gotten the shit beat out of him, I guarantee, more than every single person in Congress.
Yeah, that's true. And he talks about it a lot too, man.
I mean, there's a couple of veterans that have, you know, like Duckworth and who's the one-eyed guy in the Republican Party, Representative? Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw. You know, some of them have got some shit, but John Lewis, man, got the shit beat out of him.
Crenshaw just like he just looks so badass, honestly. Like he just looks like he'll fuck you up.
Encouraging people to be better than they
Is he the first eye patch wearing congressman? Surely there must
bet you back in the day there were some,
right? Yeah, back in the day for sure.
And families with children.
Probably back in the day they would wear like a glass eye.
We have another opportunity to bring more of our citizens into political participation.
I would just want that eye patch, dude. Fuck it.
I feel like a glass eye was like early 1900s thing to do, but
yeah, that's probably right.
Decades later, while he and
before that, you rep the eye patch.
You know, one of the things that I am a little shocked of, and they must have done some polling to show that this wouldn't hurt, but they've been promoting Republicans and, you know, Republican-light ideas a lot of the time. The one thing they've really been pushing, though, is gun control. And I'm actually a little surprised about how much they've given, like, how much airtime they've given to, like, Moms Demand Action and you know, Gabby Giffords the other night and some of these folks. And I'm like, if you're reaching out to the conservatives, you probably shouldn't be focusing on gun control, right?
Well, I think that moderate conservatives are actually for gun reform, you know?
Well, they're suburbanites, right?
Yeah. Like
these are the suburban moms is who they're going after.
Yeah, but like even suburban dads, like, reasonable gun reform is actually approved of by most gun owners, you know? It's the Ruby Ridge types and the mega far right or the Trumpites or the very hardcore ones who are like, you can't touch my guns and I should be able to buy a fucking like
we will get there.
Grenade launcher or some shit, I don't know. But
that's fair. That's a fair point. All right, Pete John Lewis. See you later, man.
He was the man. He was the man.
He went to school in Nashville at the American Baptist College.
Oh shit, we got John Legend at the piano, dude.
I feel like John Legend is just the go-to Democrat musician.
Oh yeah. Well, but dude, also again, talking about suburban moms. Who do suburban moms love? Fucking John Legend.
John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, dude. She's got her cookbook.
Love them. They love them.
Chrissy Teigen's cookbooks are fire.
I heard there's the internet, you know, especially. Oh, hey, Common. What? What up, Common?
That's pretty racist, Chris.
What? Because I went black voice?
Yeah, you went AAVE.
Can I say because it was the hip hop?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
What's up? My best
Biden's
friend.
gonna be like, my man Common out here.
God damn it, I hate y'all.
I love Common though.
I do like him.
Yeah, baby. Dude, I don't know why my sound is like pulling nothing, but I can like barely hear the shit.
Him? Yeah, I'm hearing it fine.
I'm gonna get headphones.
One of my favorite hip hop rap songs is The Mood by Common and Kanye. Future President Kanye West, I should say.
I mean, I've already said I'm voting for Kanye no matter what. Said that if I
You
get
may
my
not have a chance to, dude.
dollars.
Lord. So I'll say this. So I've seen a lot of hate on Chrissy Teigen from the conspiracy heads. They think she's somehow related to the pedophile world.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw that. She had to like put her Twitter on private or something. Her ass.
What was that about, though? I didn't know who Chrissy Teigen was a few months ago.
Yeah, this shit is so baseless. Like, it's actually difficult to figure out where a lot of it originated. I'm sure there was just a picture of her doing something. Or like, someone said that she was seen with someone or something. Most of it's just made up and photoshopped. Oh, I got my headphones in now. I can hear all of it.
She's under house arrest.
Yeah, kind of like
Great
Ellen and
story.
Oprah.
Yeah.
I was like, why was Oprah said to be involved? Because I think they just target famous black people a lot is the biggest thing.
Well,
No, dude.
Oprah had the children's schools over in Africa.
Yeah, there was reason. There was actually some lines to be drawn, and I'll say that a lot of black people buy into those conspiracies about Oprah in particular. I know for a fact. So it's not. I don't think it's like racially motivated in that way.
I think a lot of QAnon is racially motivated, dude.
But not all of conspiracy theories about Oprah are QAnon.
I didn't say that they were. I was specifically referring to Oprah being tossed into the pedophile rings.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that as well.
Dude, she was pretty fucking close friends with Weinstein.
All of Hollywood was close with Weinstein.
Right, so we should be suspect of everyone who's been in Hollywood almost.
All right, so you're going full QAnon.
I think
don't
using
know why
QAnon. I think using QAnon as shorthand to discredit conspiracy theories or whatever truther things is
wow.
Well, we're specifically referring to pedophilia rings. So, do you have an alternative pedophilia ring conspiracy?
There's Pizzagate,
which inspired QAnon. They're just an early iteration of it.
Well, I don't think.
but it's not the same thing. QAnon
QAnon
is
didn't
about.
exist when Pizzagate happened, so no, it's not the same. But QAnon based its foundation off of what Pizzagate had built out.
But I think saying this is all QAnon, I think there's a lot of bad actors in Hollywood.
I was referring specifically to the
there's a lot
QAnon
of
conspiracy theories about Oprah.
Sexual exploitation, not just of minors, I mean of full-grown people, but there's plenty of rape and forced touching, and you're going to shut the fuck up because you want to make a couple $1 million. And so I don't think just being like, oh, you're a QAnon person because you think there's bad actors in Hollywood, That's a dumb line of thinking.
We were talking about pedophilia rings, Chris. And I was talking
And I
about
think there
Oprah being
are
caught up in
probably
QAnon
some-
because Oprah was caught up in QAnon.
I don't necessarily think it's a ring, but there's plenty of pedophilia in Hollywood.
And also, I don't know that we want to stay on this for much longer, but the conspiracy theories about Oprah's involvement in pedophilia rings and things like that predate QAnon as well. So
You'd have to send me examples. I'm familiar with QAnon saying that she was under house arrest. QAnon saying that she was shuffling children with the Clintons underground, shit like that. I've researched, but I'm not familiar with any pedophilia rings that predate QAnon, so I can't.
Oh, dude, she's been the focus of a lot of conspiracy theories for a long time at the moment.
This is a grave moment.
At this point, I mean.
A deadly
So.
virus is ravaging us. Our jobs are evaporating.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, but I mean, so is like fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z for being, in the Illuminati and like murdering children. So
exactly. It's the same.
Powerful
It's the same
isn't
style.
necessarily. Yeah, it's not necessarily. It doesn't mean that you're involved in it.
All
It
right,
just
let's
means that you're-
skirt. So, anyways, I actually, considering John Meacham is really a tool of the establishment, he's probably one of my favorite tools.
Prisoners of the darkest of American forces.
I don't know anything about him.
Will we free ourselves?
Oh, he's a pretty prolific political commentator. I typically watch him when he's on Bill Maher, Real Time with Bill Maher. But he also does quite a bit on MSNBC. He seems to be most popular on Morning Joe.
Is what makes us us. In its
I do not watch him on Morning Joe.
I was gonna say, are you a big Morning Joe fan?
We are all created equal.
I haven't had cable in like 2 decades now, so it's difficult for me to watch any of the cable news shows. Thank God.
I catch him a lot on the Live Twitter.
I can't even watch it if I wanted to, and so it's a real blessing in disguise for me.
But an honest accounting.
I like his Johnson Humphrey USA poster behind him.
Dude, Meacham is the man, dude.
Bro, man.
By the best parts of our
He's got that FDR too. I'm down for Biden if he just becomes a modern day FDR.
He's kind of, dude, that's never going to happen.
He's pitching it, man. The Civilian Climate Corps, I'm here for it.
Who the fuck pitched that?
Joe
That
Biden.
wasn't him.
And ongoing.
Biden pitched the Civilian Conservation Corps? I didn't think that was him.
Civilian Climate Corps, yeah.
Painful and provisional.
That came out of his office.
New Deal to right-wing reaction.
Oh.
Civil rights to
It's kind of
white backlash.
impressive.
Yet history, which will surely
Yeah, he would create the Civilian Climate Corps pattern on FDR's Civilian Conservation Corps.
To Alice Paul to John Lewis from the beaches of
Yeah, it came out of his mouth.
Our story has soared.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
that's an interesting
I would love
idea.
to see it.
I would love it. I want him to come out with the Tennessee Broadband Authority.
We've hoped.
It's the TVA, but with internet.
If we live in hope,
They need to do it throughout the whole entire country, man.
to the power of love.
They got to.
Yeah, but you got to build off the old names.
Of our neighbors.
Yeah.
Access.
You don't want to lose the memes.
Dude, the meme is the power.
Oh, dude, in South Carolina, it's Santee Cooper. I would love the Santee Cooper Broadband Authority, dude.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Is progress possible?
How dare you question the authority?
That's when I'll go hard for Joe Biden if he starts pitching that. I'm fucking here for
Share
it.
a conviction that Dr. King articulated on that Sunday half a century ago.
Yeah, but he's not going to be an
Arc of the
FDR,
moral
dude.
universe is long, but it
We'll be
pays for
lucky if
itself.
he's a Bill Clinton.
Ending that requires all of us. It requires
That would fucking suck.
And it requires
Bill Clinton was the
citizens of
worst.
United States
Watch it, dude.
empathy, grace.
Do remind me 4 years from now on this one.
Biden will be such a president.
I'm saying I hope it. I'm not calling it. You're not getting me on that one.
I've got a friend who bet me 4 years ago that
If we do so,
by election
we might
day,
just save our country.
I guess by the end of Trump's first term, that Roe v. Wade would have been overturned. he bet me $100 that it would be overturned, and I said, nah, that it's never gonna happen. They don't actually care about that shit. And
because if they ever overthrew it, they couldn't run on it anymore.
Right. Exactly. And to me, it's one of those. It's just one of those issues that gets people emotionally motivated, and the elites don't actually care about it. But anyway, I'm going to be collecting on that bet come inauguration day.
You still got a couple of months, dude. I wouldn't be taking the victory lap yet.
That's true. I want my hundo.
What do you think the last couple of months of a Trump lost presidency looks like?
So like a lame duck term?
Yeah. What's his last like 2 months?
Thrashing violently and lashing out.
Dude. The amount of white-collar criminals that are going to get out of prison is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
There was a group of like Ivy League douchebags and just political elites who gamed out November using like a D10, and they brought in like a bunch of like experts from like the DHS and from the media and shit, and they just went through all the different scenarios of what would happen if like Trump wins, and it's just like by a small margin or by a large margin, or Biden vice versa. And basically all the scenarios, it was like cities are on fire, like everyone's freaking out, like, and like we don't know who wins on election day, and it's like complete civil unrest. And the only scenario where it played out well was if Biden wins by a landslide, at which point they gamed out Trump slinking off to Mar-a-Lago and not finishing his lame duck presidency.
He just golfs. He just golfs the rest of the time.
Doesn't do any. He's like, fuck this, I'm out.
I'm telling you, dude. Though those commutations and oh shit, what's it called when you just completely write somebody off? Pardon. His commutations and pardons are gonna go nutso.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Steve Bannon getting a pardon.
Oh yeah.
1967.
Did you hear it was the post office that actually arrested him?
No, I don't
What?
anymore.
It was the Postal Service, the USPS, fucking arrested him.
Bannon?
Arrested Bannon. Did you not see this? It's been in the news all day.
I
today.
saw he got arrested, but I didn't see that the USPS. How the fuck do they arrest someone?
Dude, apparently like 40 agencies in federal government have right to arrest.
Really?
Damn, is the USPS our SPQR?
So listen to this. This one shocked me a lot. If you get a job as a tax auditor at the IRS, you have to be proficient in handguns.
Really?
You have to, you get proficient in handguns in the IRS.
Because
dude,
all authority is derived from violent authority.
They're trying to give him a Medicare.
Will they be stolen from
this chick is like all over Twitter.
I was gonna say the libs love her, don't they?
They love her. She's on my feed like every day doing Trump impersonations.
Who's signing them?
She's pretty good at it, though. I typically don't like this sort of thing, but she does well.
Groups inside our nation.
I'm telling you though, man, it's
Why would
no
they do
Mr.
this?
Pillow. Because they're trying to get medics, bro, and they're bad at it.
Let me put this in my own words.
Oh, there she is.
I've heard Donald Trump say some pretty
They're
unhinged
downstream
things.
from the
I've heard
memes. They
them
need to get
over
upstream
and
from the
over and
memes.
over
So true, dude.
But nothing is more dangerous to our democracy
They
than
need
his
to get in
attacks
touch with the
on
source.
mail-in voting during a
Did
pandemic.
you know the other one that the libs really seem to love is Randy Rainbow? Have you seen this guy?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Randy Rainbow does like a lot of anti-Trump stuff, but uses show tunes as his way of going against Trump. Anyways,
his mode of protest.
Right, his mode of protest is is show tunes with his own lyrics in it.
I respect it, man.
I'm Alex Padilla.
California Secretary.
I just think
Hey, Callie.
Jocelyn Benson, the Secretary of State
Never mind.
of Michigan.
Yeah.
Voting is the oxygen of our
Hey,
democracy.
Michigan, that's kind of middle of the country.
And elections change lives.
Dude, it's still the coast to me, okay? If you're on the edge and there's water near you.
There is a big lake there.
Huge. It looks like an
couple
ocean.
big lakes. Couple big lakes.
They have
Yeah.
a beach. Fuck them.
You're right. I'm calling it coastal elite, dude.
Coastal elites in Michigan.
Coastal elite in Michigan.
So yeah, so you can wrap Chicago in there too.
Yep. Chicago's in there.
Well, Chicago's have been a part of the coastal elite for the long time.
Those uppity Ohio douchebags, man. I can't stand them either. Who else we got?
I'm just thinking of wasn't Milton Friedman from University of Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago
Yeah, he was.
school.
The Fresh Lake economists.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah.
destroyed the country.
Millions of Americans have been voting.
Also, isn't Minnesota full of lakes?
Donald Trump, his
The
Yeah,
land of
1,000.
1,000 lakes.
Yeah, they
1,000
count too.
lakes.
Yeah,
or
fuck
maybe
Minnesota.
10,000.
Colorado, Utah, and Oregon. Voters
It's a
have been
large
voting
number.
now for years.
Too many lakes to trust.
It seems
What are-
it seems
what are
like
they
a
hiding?
symbolic number.
You know, I know this Secretary of State from Michigan's really for us because she has a plaid picture of the state. So she's probably like really into lumberjacks and stuff, right?
Well, she has to be. Yeah, at that point.
And there's more.
Paul Bunyan wasn't Michigan, was he?
Paul Bunyan wasn't real.
Oh.
You shut your mouth. Yeah, but mythically speaking, where was he?
Wait.
I have no idea.
Well, Johnny Appleseed was from Ohio, I think.
He was from Ohio? Are you sure?
Almost certain. I'm googling it right now.
Go to the
We're
Google
going
machine.
Paul Bunyan.
Have y'all noticed that Google in the last couple of months has become awful? Like, I hate using Google now as my search engine.
Yeah, it leaves out a lot of shit.
Well, and it's also the first, page and a half is paid advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful.
Okay. John Chapman, a.k.a. Johnny Appleseed. Oh, okay. He was all throughout the Midwest. Pennsylvania, Ontario, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois.
Ontario's the Midwest now?
I mean, back then.
Wait, are we... Did
Which
we
one
take
of
over
these does
Canada?
not belong?
Did we take over Canada?
Can we just make it official?
Well,
Johnny Appleseed is just kind of like a long line of American swindlers.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was a straight up carpetbagger.
Just going around planting whole orchards and then being like, "I'll sell you a tree, bitch."
Yeah, he's like, now you owe me interest on those apples.
Well, it had to do with the Homestead Act.
Booker. Let's see what Booker's got to say.
In the 1800s, they passed the Homestead Act.
Left the
Booker
Jim
looking a
Crow
little
South to
chubby.
Detroit.
He actually is, yeah,
Joined
man.
UAW.
He's been
Got a
stressed.
job on the
He's
assembly
going
lines
Christie
during World War
mode.
II.
It's not even his
That
final
easy
form.
job enabled him to support his family, raise my mom.
You've been hanging out
and send
with
her
Chris
to
Christie
Cook
too much
University.
out at the beach house.
That's the American dream. Together we work.
They just have donuts
Together
delivered
we
every
rise.
morning.
Oh yeah,
Joe
dude, straight
Biden
from the
and Kamala
crispy
Harris know the
presses.
dignity of all
Dude,
working
quarantine's hard on the body,
Americans. They know
okay?
the urgency and the demand.
It
of
is.
our
I've
dream.
gained a lot of weight
But working
myself.
people are
I did. I had to get
The
one of those
wealth that
fitness
grows
apps.
are
I'm doing that
middle-class
every day at
shrinks,
lunch
and poverty.
because I was like,
persists.
my belt was getting a little too
Last
tight.
week, Donald Trump
I'm
said, and
I'm
I
still just
quote,
eating like shit,
"Our
but
economy
I
is
should
in
probably get
Just
While
pounds of
5
curry
million
every day.
Americans are at risk
As
of
he got the
losing their
Kamala
homes.
Marsala.
30 million aren't getting
Yeah, the
enough to eat,
the
and
Kamala tikka masala.
5.4 million people have lost their health care because of this crisis.
Yo,
you know what would help with all the people losing their health care is fucking Medicare for all.
But still,
Yeah.
Thanks,
Some
Democrats.
kind of system where employment isn't how you get your insurance would probably be a really good idea. I don't know, just throwing it out there.
Just how the rest of the fucking world does it, maybe, is smart, but
in America,
you know, not forcing somebody into debt slavery for the rest of their lives because they get cancer. Maybe a good idea.
well, if God loved them, they wouldn't get cancer, I think is the thought.
That's a fair point, and one I haven't given enough due diligence.
Think about it. Think about it. If you don't sin, you don't get sick.
Are thick with calluses, like my granddad's were, who lifted me high.
Yo, it looks like Paul Bunyan is actually of Canadian origin.
I saw that, but I didn't want to bring it up and make Chris sad.
Bullshit.
I literally didn't bring it up.
Franco-Canadian. Franco-Canadian.
Oh, God, that's the worst Canadian.
Tell us, take another by the hand and another, and let's get to work.
I'm a little sad, honestly, because I feel like everyone always has a story about, well, my grandfather worked in coal mines and shit like that. And I'm like, man, my grandpa was like an accountant, which isn't really as dramatic of a story.
Not really.
He got
as
carpal tunnel.
dramatic.
My grandpa chopped trees for 85 years. He died under the log.
Uniquely comfortable. I've got a wife that works as well.
Yeah.
We've got a 17-year-old.
My grandfather was solidly middle class and has
international executive board.
you know, really let that go down. And most of my uncles went to college and just solidly middle class.
Yeah, really supported the family well. Balanced work life and home life. You know, 2 cars. My grandmother was able to stay home with the kids. So
had a great little vacation house over in you know, the coast of North Carolina.
Really
beautiful place.
They're Labrador, adorable.
We made it.
Yes. Thank you.
You privileged middle classers.
Wait,
my grandparents were all poor cotton farmers. They had to pick the cotton till their hands bled.
And now
constantly in debt with the landowners.
You start just doing John Grisham's A Painted House. we couldn't afford to even paint our house back in the late 50s.
That actually is the truth, though. That's what my grandparents were.
Our hired hands could paint their houses, but we as the landowners couldn't do it.
All right, so we now got Biden finally in the House talking to 4 normies on TV.
Pre-K, going to the big school, like he says, and then unfortunately,
talking about the kids.
COVID came in, and now it's all going to be online schooling.
We should, okay, I'm going to coin a term right now. These little segments where they do a montage of normies, I'm going to call it a normitage.
I like that.
Normtage.
Normtage.
Even Rocky had a montage. Montage.
Bus driver from
Atlanta.
Is that, what's ATU?
I don't know. Transportation unit or something like that?
Yeah, it's the, I'm not familiar with Atlanta Public Transportation.
Everybody, you talked about the middle class.
Biden's looking a little thin. Is that just me?
Is that the way middle class people
It's the
generate
lighting.
wealth?
He's certainly looking thinner than Cory Booker.
And that's what gets passed
Yeah,
on
we
to
just
one
saw Cory
generation to the
Booker,
next.
so
Yeah.
our eyes haven't adjusted.
Classes continues taking hits, and one of the
Poor
reasons
Cory
why we're
Booker,
on this
man, I
call
love
is
We should just talk about Cory Booker like he's a giant. Like
we need to cover his
He was
back.
he was in good shape on the campaign trail. I don't know what happened.
big Cory.
We're going to build the middle class. It's about
Cory is the
The
house.
future really rests on investment. We're
Cory
gonna
big
invest
as a
in $6
house.
billion
Yeah.
infrastructure, ports, bridges, highways.
Is Joe forgetting to eat? I'm worried
have
about him. He looks gone.
access to do things
His
that
wife
really
is
make
definitely
a difference.
making sure
Like what
he's.
you're doing
Nah,
at
Jill's
Solar
on it.
Supplements.
Yeah.
I feel like she's very responsible.
Central
Jill's got the
Pennsylvania's
jelly
okay, but,
beans
you know,
on
let's see.
stat, dude.
Keep the faith.
Are they?
guys.
Hey, are they medicated jelly beans though?
Thank you.
Yeah, those jelly beans come from California for sure. Those are Kamala Harris jelly beans.
I know it's not typical.
Kamala, I really like these jelly beans you brought.
I just can't get enough, and in fact, I'm getting hungry and hungrier as I eat them.
Our highest duty is
I just started eating. I ate the whole bag.
Our true guidance. And our job is to speak.
Wait,
the
who's
truth
this
about
guy?
Public health,
I could use some of
even
those.
when it's controversial or
You got
perceived
the
as political.
closed captioning on, so I
here's the
can't see.
He's the
Our
former
nation
Surgeon
absolutely
General.
has
I
what it
just
takes
now
to
realized I
overcome
don't know
the
who any of the
COVID-19
Surgeon
pandemic.
Generals are.
It's claimed tens of thousands of our loved
There was
ones.
that one
the
old
talent,
white guy back in
resources,
the
and
day
technology.
that I think
What
for a
we're
little
missing
bit
is
said,
leadership.
You're describing American
We need a
politics,
leader
and you
who
said
leads
that
us
old white guy.
to ensure that everyone who needs it and gets their help
That's the
quickly.
least
old
descriptive.
A leader
white
who
guy.
secures a safe,
There's an old white guy that has that position.
and
Oh yeah,
distributes it quickly and fairly.
that's 200 years of American
Yeah,
politics.
that's every Surgeon
Practice
General
these
ever, I
things
think.
and wear masks.
Besides this, too.
Not as a political statement, but as a patriotic duty, a
Good joke.
commitment we make to one another.
All right, I'm gonna get another beer. Y'all
That's why I'm
riff
here
or whatever
tonight.
you do.
Not because of politics or for party, but because I know Joe Biden can be that leader. I've worked with Joe Biden. I've seen who he is with no cameras around, how he sits with people in their pain and holds them in his heart.
Is the Surgeon
How
General
he
a
pores
military
over COVID
position?
briefings, asking smart questions, letting science guide his way,
No,
just
I
as he
don't
did
think
when
so.
managing the Ebola crisis.
Because he was. It looked like he
And
was
6
wearing
years
a
ago,
military
when Joe
uniform,
Biden met my
dress
family,
fatigues.
many of them immigrants
I just,
to be in the nation's capital.
Maybe it is, dude, because I just
saw how he
Googled
kneeled
the
beside
Surgeon
my
General,
grandmother's wheelchair, took her hand
and it's a
in his
Vice Admiral
and said,
Jerome
"Thank you
Adams.
for choosing us, the United States of America."
Well, it would kind of
as
make
the
sense
place
that
to
you would
trust
want
with your family.
the
Tonight,
military looking
as a
after the
father,
president
son,
and
and
not
grandson,
like some
as a
bum
doctor
shit
who swore an
doctor,
oath, and
right?
as an American who loves my
Okay,
country,
check this out.
I
I'm
can
reading
tell
it
you
right
that
now.
Joe
The
Biden is
Surgeon
the man
General
I
is a
trust
commissioned
to look out for my
officer
family,
in the
and
U.S.
the leader I
Public
know
Health
will
Service
heal this
Commission
nation.
Corps, one of 8 uniformed services in the United States, and by law holds the rank of Vice Admiral.
Hi, I'm
Vice Admiral?
Yeah.
That's kind of high, right?
I got sick. Really
Yeah,
sick.
Vice Admiral's like
I was
number 2
hospitalized, but since my grandparents were the ones
in the
raising
Navy,
me,
or maybe
and our
3.
family's health
I
plan
just
for
came
my
back and heard the word
grandkids,
Vice Admiral, and I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds awesome.
All Surgeon Generals are Vice Admirals by
I got
law.
better, but the insurance companies didn't.
Surgeons.
What?
They refused to cover me at any
Yeah.
cost because I was marked
What kind of authority does that come with?
pre-existing condition.
The
Well, you
authority
could-
to bombard cities.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could run an armada of ships.
That sounds awesome. I want to be Surgeon General.
I want to have an armada.
What we've heard these past 4 days. Healthcare professionals who don't
Tammy
believe
Baldwin's not a
worthy
senator I know too much
young
about.
people whose asthma will get worse as our air quality does. Workers who are afraid of losing their jobs.
What's Tammy short for?
It's this simple, fundamental
Tamantha.
question. A question that gets to the heart of the choice in this election.
I actually have no idea. Tabitha? Is it Tammy? That doesn't sound right. It's probably Tabby.
Millionaires get to dodge taxes, or one
What is
where
Tammy
working
short for?
families get a break.
Tamitha?
Do we
Tamitha.
want a country where
Is that what we're going? Is that what we're going?
It could just be Tammy, man. I know a Stammy. That's full name.
or where tens of
A what?
thousands of people
Stammy?
die from a virus?
Stammy?
Where the
Yeah.
American dream
Christian
lives?
name, Stammy.
I
Wow.
think we know the answer to that
No comment.
fundamental question because most of us want the same thing.
Hey, Tamara or Tabitha?
Justice, the
It is
freedom to love
Tabitha?
who we want,
Yeah.
Nice.
This is
It
killer
can
radio.
be. It can be.
This is what. This is why the listeners come back.
Yeah.
Week
If you
after
don't like,
week.
hey, if you don't like etymological origins of people's names, then get off the podcast now.
Easily the worst episode.
And we're gonna notice that everyone stopped listening right there.
We're gonna get like one play on our next episode.
It's okay.
the part where I ran
This
for
one's for us.
I blame the Democratic National Convention for having boring speakers.
Listen, if you're not enjoying this episode, tune in next week for the RNC because that's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
That-
I tell you what.
More pageantry is required for this sort of thing.
More pageantry and less depression. It's like we've been depressed for 5 months now.
Yeah.
Can we stop?
More crazy people waving guns is what I'm looking for, and I think that the RNC is going to bring it to me.
I want more of that guy in the dress cape dancing around to Buffalo Springfields.
I tried to Google whoever that was because I wanted more, but I couldn't find him.
I know who he is. I'll ask my girlfriend. She knows him.
This November.
Forget his name though.
Let's move forward.
He's a big fashion guy though. He's on fashion shows. He has a fashion show on Amazon actually. Oh wait, that's a great way for me to find him.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's been the best thing I've seen out of the Democratic convention.
For sure. If they don't bring him back to close this thing out, I'll be mad.
They won't do it, dude. They can't upstage Biden.
All right, let's see what Dreyfus says. She's gonna have a crack.
America stays strong and united. Please go to joebiden.com and contribute anything that you possibly can.
Yeah, baby. Public
Tonight,
access
to
television.
be a loyal union member.
We know you hate listening to this, and we're sorry we have to do it all week.
We hate him too. Trust me.
A washed-up horse-face, no talent.
But if you want to keep the lights on at the Democratic Party.
With all due respect, sir, it takes one to know one.
Oh.
And now I'd like to introduce you to a real American hero.
Dude, she's got a
World
Trump
War II
burn on
veteran
every
Ed
round.
Good.
I am Edward Good.
Though to be
I'm
fair,
95 years old.
you know,
I'm a veteran of
Julia
World War
Louise
II
Dreyfus was kind of like revolutionary in female comedy, and so she's probably got an excellent writing team for working for her.
No, I completely agree. Can I just make another comment on the fact that they're not bringing in the 95-year-old World War II veteran? Like, do they not want live streams on this?
Listen, y'all. Hitler was bad and Trump is like Hitler, so vote for Joe Biden.
So vote for Joe Biden. He's kind of more like Neville Chamberlain.
Oh, and he voted for Trump too. He's one of them. He's one of the Trump and I switch guys.
It was before I realized that Trump was literally Hitler.
I fought the Nazis, and now I'm fighting them again here in our own country.
You know, they told me that one of Trump's favorite books was Mein Kampf, and, well, Mein Kampf is one of my favorite books, so that's why I voted for him.
Chris, he's a war hero.
Okay.
You just called him a Nazi.
Allegedly.
Whoa.
Whoa. Liking Mein Kampf does not make you a Nazi.
Yeah.
Let's
just be clear.
Just
not a good sign.
Yeah. Wait. Drink. Let me be clear. Let me be clear.
For our listeners, we do have a Joe Biden drinking game coming up once the speech starts. Compliments of friend of the pod, Matt Taibbi.
All right, this old boring guy's on. I'm gonna go run and take a pee and make another drink.
Oh, you should review the rules of the drinking game.
Yeah, while we're dealing with these normies, let's run through the Joe Biden drinking game.
The normie-tage.
So you have to drink every time that Joe Biden says folks. I can't say that word right for some reason. Folks. Every time Joe Biden says the United States of America, or a double shot for any multiples. Wait, a multiple American construction, like the best America is an America where Americans believe in the American dream. That's a good one. He does that a lot. Every time Biden says get up, folks, you've got to get up. This is the United States of America. You guys, any references to Barack Obama or the soul of America, which is fair.
Military spouse on how to deal with the stress.
When people get married, they expect to grow old with each other. With multiple combat tours,
we're doing more and more.
They're just
John, are you still there?
Laundry list of uncertainties that.
Yeah, sorry, I went on mute for a second.
I was like, everyone left me. I'm just here alone.
I'm doing chores.
They've been through so much.
I've just watched so many hours of the DNC this week. I haven't had any time to do anything for myself.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know, I've been enraptured.
Yeah.
And one of the little girls burst into
I'm back,
tears.
bitches.
And the teacher ran over and said, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" And she said,
I forgot to make a drink, so I'm going to have to take a break here in a second to go do that. But I didn't want to leave you two alone diddling each other.
Well, John fucking went on mute while you left, so I was just here by myself.
I was ranting about Pizzagate.
It's definitely not QAnon.
They're different things.
They are zero crossover. There's no Venn diagram there at all.
And how they were able to, rally a country behind us.
John, it's like you didn't even listen to my QAnon episode.
Oprah did it. I know all about QAnon.
Listen,
I've been there from the beginning.
I'm sorry. Do you know that
John
Oprah...
was Q there for a little bit.
Yeah, this thing has gotten way out of hand. I was just posting messages on 4chan, and then people started really reading into it.
I really want to go on Ain't Coon because apparently the Q cryptography is pretty easy to crack. So pretty much everyone and anyone could go in and pretend to be Q. So I've been thinking about trying to, take my hand at making a Q drop, see what happens.
So many veterans have lost their jobs. So many military spouses have lost their jobs.
Oh, children with face masks and unemployed people.
I'm telling you what, dude. Face masks are so hot right now.
I can't wait for this rock and roll Republican convention, dude. It's gonna be just like, America, fuck yeah.
I wish I would have invested in a face mask company before all this.
Yeah. See, that one's a little too direct. You need to invest in something like one additional step away from the
like a cleaning supply company. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like
a toilet paper company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Clorox. I mean Clorox.
Yeah,
Tammy!
Tammy Duckworth.
Tammy!
Tamitha.
Isn't that her second Tammy?
It is. It's a lot of Tammys.
Third Tammy coming up, or just two, do you think?
Man, dude, a lot of military in the house. This is like old school Democrat.
You got to, dude.
Where's Mayor Pete?
Fuck Pete. I think he's already spoken.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he already spoke.
It's required from their families too. My husband Brian was the one who rushed to Walter Reed after I was wounded in Iraq. He was the one holding my hand, waiting for me to wake up. And when I finally did, he was my rock, getting me through those hours, weeks, months of unspeakable pain and unending surgeries. He was my anchor as I relearned to walk, helping me through every step.
So what do y'all think? Do you think the Democrats get anything out of this?
What do you mean?
Praying for their loved ones' safety.
Out of this convention?
Like, some kind of, yeah.
Like a bump or something? No. Nothing.
I don't think there's going to be a bump on either side.
I agree. I think if there is going to be a bump, it'll be on the Republican side, but I think it's going to be very minimal, if anything. I think Democrats are mainly just like,
and what's going to happen is, and what's going to happen on the Republican side is, we may see like the lessening of how much sway Biden has, right? And so people are going to be like, that's a Republican bump, the 10% threshold that Biden has had has decreased to 8%, right?
Yeah.
And we're just going to get like a week's worth of like, can you believe this?
I really hope
Trump's
that Trump,
gaining again.
Yeah, I really hope that Trump is not doing a recorded speech and that he's actually just doing it live, because I want him to go off the rails.
Y'all remember when he made that entrance in 2016 with the fog machine and like the light behind him?
Yeah, baby.
Dude.
Wait, which one?
He entered the stage on the first night of the RNC in 2016 and like came out of like the wall behind him opened up, like slid open, and there was just this bright light and fog coming out, and then he walks out and it's just his silhouette and then walks out to everybody going crazy. It was an awesome entrance. I got to give it to him.
Dude, I still, vividly remember him coming down the escalator. Vividly. I mean, I was watching that shit. I don't think I watched it live, but I definitely watched it that day that he did it. And I remember being so fucking excited that Donald Trump was running in the Republican Party because I was like, he's just going to shit on everyone.
And he did.
Just going to shit on and then he did, right? He shit on literally the whole entire world. So there at the very beginning, I was there for it, man. I still remember I was, this was back when I cared about exercising. And I remember it was like the summer, I think it was like June or July. So it was like 2 or 3 months after, after Trump had announced, and all the punditry class was just going to be like, oh, Donald Trump will be gone by fall. Like, nobody's going to remember Donald Trump was in the Republican primary by this time next fall or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, September or October, we won't hear a thing about Trump. And I was like, you guys don't have a fucking clue, do you?
That was wishful thinking on their part.
They had no fucking clue. And you know, here's the thing. I don't think that they don't have a clue now. I do think Joe Biden will end up winning, but you know, I think one of the real top lines is going to be like, you know, the Americans have rejected Donald Trump. I don't think that's what this is going to end up being, right? I think it's going to be pure exhaustion that people vote for Biden.
That's 100% what it is, dude. It's not like it's not some sort of rejection of Trumpism or Trump principles, or like it's not a fix of anything that got us to having Donald Trump. It's literally just Democrats are angrier and everyone's really tired. So like in 4 years, 8 years, the shit's going to happen again.
Yeah. Let's lift it up a little bit for Julia.
Joe. His real warmth and kindness on that call, man, I gotta say, it made me cry. Our current president has made me cry too, but it's never had anything to do with his warmth or kindness. Joe Biden's empathy is genuine. You can feel it. That's why President Obama asked Joe to head up the cancer moonshot. President Obama knows what we all know. Joe Biden understands suffering and loss and sacrifice. Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
That's why the credit cards companies went to him to make sure that Americans could remain in debt forever.
To become a highly effective public servant.
Joe Biden understands sacrifice.
Mayor Pete.
Child sacrifice, probably.
Who's this? Pete? Oh shit, we're listening to Pete.
Beau Biden lived a life of service.
Oh shit!
In office
and
in uniform.
Fucking CIA douchebag.
Dude, my favorite CIA Labrador. I love him so much.
You live in, but because it's a country you believe in.
Do you think he's legitimately CIA?
I believe in this country.
No.
Because
but I think
America
it's a funny joke.
Uniquely holds the promise of a place where everyone can belong.
I think he is.
That for too many,
I think he's some kind of deep state douchebag for sure.
But we also know America is at its best when we make that circle of
belonging. You know, these
just over 10 years ago, I joined the military where firing me because of who I am
shit, what's it called? Well, yeah, his military experience is definitely up there.
Now, in 2020.
But what's it called? A shell company? I think he worked that's what his
the very ring on my finger.
Fuck. What was he doing? He was like a
he worked at
McKinsey, right?
He was an
economic development consultant.
Makes my marriage real.
Yeah, they're a shell company, right?
Made it possible.
Dude, that is such a basic job to get out of college for someone like him. I knew so many people that went to consulting firms like
when
that.
He said that marriage equality.
Yeah, and how many of those are CIA consulting firms?
None of them, dude. They're just boring ass cucks.
But if this much can change,
just total boners. Maybe a couple are. I don't know.
What
most
could
of them
change
suck.
between now and
like, what's the most basic business thing?
Imagine what we could achieve This coalition we are building, this
And then they
very
just like
season,
suck off their own
gathering
dicks at night. You know what I
progressives
mean?
and moderates, independents,
Is that what they're doing?
and even what I like to call
Last time I
future
checked.
former Republicans.
Oh, that's
standing for an America.
That's surprisingly
where
Marilyn Manson for some yuppies.
Joe Biden is right. This is a contest for the soul of the nation.
Oh, they're sucking their
And to
own
me,
dicks.
that
Okay.
contest is not between good Americans and evil Americans. It's the struggle to
Do you
call
think
out what is
Buttigieg
good
listens to a
in
lot of
every
Manson?
American. It's up to us.
I don't think he knows who
Will
Marilyn
America
Manson
be a place where
Only when
faith
he's
is
beating
about
the shit
healing
out of his dog,
and not
right?
exclusion? Can we become a country
Throws
that
on the
lives up to the
industrial
truth that
metal
black
and just starts
lives
beating the crap
matter?
out of his dog and telling
Will we
Chasten,
handle
"This is your
questions of
fault.
science and medicine
This is your
by
fault."
Turning to
I
scientists
think
and doctors?
I think he
Will
might
we
just
see to
actually
it
be
that no one who
strategically
works
gay,
full-time
like not even gay,
can
really.
live in
He
poverty?
just thought it was.
I
He thought it was
trust Joe
politically
Biden and
viable.
Kamala Harris to guide us
And
toward that better
A great
future.
way to get
Because
ahead.
I've seen up
A great
close
way to get ahead.
their
It's
empathy
part of his brand.
and their capacity. Just as I've seen my
And he
fellow Americans'
jumped the
capacity
gun
to support and include one
because
another in
you
new
know
ways
it's supposed to be
and do
Hillary,
better by the promise of America.
first woman president, and then
The day
you
I
know
was
around
born,
now is
the idea of an
when we should be
out
getting our
candidate
first gay
seeking any
president.
federal office at all
Should have
was
waited
laughable.
until 2024.
Yet earlier this year,
He got too
I
hot to
campaigned
trot.
for the presidency.
Yeah.
Often with my husband Chasten at my side. Winning
It's his
delegates
fault
to
from being
this
from a
very
bullshit
convention.
state. Like, dude, get out of
Now, I
Indiana.
come to this convention proudly supporting Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Whoa, bro!
Joining
Don't
fellow
hate
Democrats
on the middle of
who
the
were
country.
squaring off in competition just a few months ago.
I'm not hating on the middle of the country.
A number
I'm
of us
hating on the
recently got
Hoosier
together
state.
to talk about
Yeah,
the
whatever.
Joe we
Like,
know.
what the fuck is a Hoosier?
Yeah, if you're
Corey
listening to the
Booker. Welcome to
podcast from
everybody
Indiana, get
at
out.
home. I am
Get
very excited
out.
to present to you
Hate you.
a group of people that ran.
Oh,
in
dude, they got
the
all of the
2020
fucking
Democratic
candidates. We got Bernie in the house. We
Nah,
got Yang. We got
not all
Warren.
of
We
them.
got
You could think
Booker.
of this
Not
sort of like
all of them.
Survivor
We're
or
salty.
Beto made
interviews
it?
of all the people that got voted off
Well,
the island.
yeah, the important ones, not the ones that like.
Bernie.
Yeah,
Bernie, don't
Beto
you
is
laugh, 'cause
not
I got
on the
questions for you, like,
important level.
why does my girlfriend like you more than she likes me? But let's
Because
move
she's
on.
smarter than you, and that's the obvious answer,
Oh, shit.
right?
Oh, look,
Hey,
Beto's
I-
laughing too.
Whoa.
Oh, they're all having
Senator
such a good
Sanders.
time.
Bernie.
And
Bernie
Senator
with the
Klobuchar, you actually
burn.
served with Joe Biden in the Senate. I'm wondering if you have any memories of what he was like as a colleague.
Bernie
in the
looking
Senate.
slim
Well, I
too.
remember one
Didn't
night
all the
when I was giving
senators
one of those
serve
floor
with
speeches, and Corey, you know what
Biden?
this is like. No one was there. No one was watching. I was all alone.
Dude, they're
and I
assembling
gave my
Voltron
speech, which much
right now.
to a completely
Why isn't
empty
Marianne
chamber.
Williamson
and I walked out of
invited,
there and I
dude?
thought, I wonder if
Yeah,
my
good
mom
question.
was even watching this.
I
on
want some
C-SPAN.
dark
And at that
psychic
moment-
energy.
I want
So far
Marianne
away.
Williamson.
And I
I
actually
want
thought
Mike
maybe my mom
Gravel.
was watching.
Oh,
it on
my
C-SPAN.
God.
Oh, yeah,
I
dude,
want,
that's the
I
vibe,
want
dude.
Tulsi
It
Gabbard in
was
there.
Joe Biden.
And
It kind of goes
unironically.
to not only his kindness for
Yeah,
calling
where
me
the
and being
fuck
a
is
mentor, but
Tulsi?
it also goes to how much he cares
Dude,
about
everyone
the
hates
public
Tulsi in the
and
establishment. There's
people
no way
are
she's
saying,
invited.
and
They
then
This
when
time
he
last
went
year,
home
she
and
was
he
a vice president of the
and he
DNC.
cares.
You can't go on Fox News as much as she did.
Did your mother watch the speech?
I know.
Or a vice chair, rather.
Guys, but look how nice they are and how much they like each other and how much they're all laughing. This is unity in the Democratic Party, aren't you learning?
At the same time he was.
Do you
And he
think
pulled me
all of
aside
them
at
are
one
like,
point and he pointed to
fucking
somebody
Pete, get the
who
fuck out
we
of
both
here,
knew
you
who was
Dude, they all
working on
love
my
Pete.
campaign,
Pete's the best.
but he'd known from before.
None of them
and
like Pete.
Let
dude.
me
They all love
know
Pete.
that,
None
that
of
that
them
was somebody
like
who'd gone
Pete.
through
They all
a
like Pete.
family tragedy that Joe somehow knew
Dude,
about.
Amy is
And
trying
just
not
thought
to
it was important
jump
for me to
through
know
her
that
screen to
about somebody who was
stranglehold
working
him.
with me.
Okay, so Amy doesn't like
Over
Pete,
time,
but
I
the rest of them
realized
like
that
Pete.
it's just basic to who he is.
Dude, there's no
Also-
way Bernie likes
Do you have
Pete.
any,
No, Bernie's like, you little
memories as well?
douche.
I think the day I
Well, that's what Bernie says to the whole fucking party, dude.
was on the 1-year anniversary.
Warren likes Pete, I'll tell you that
of the
much.
Boston Marathon
You think
bombing.
so?
Yeah, dude.
And everyone, of
He's a
course,
square,
was
she's a
enormous
square.
in
Squares like each other.
the vice
I can believe
president
that.
here. But at some point in that
And
speech,
Beto's like, I'm just really appreciative of being invited and being with some friendly faces.
to someone
Beto
who
is
was
actually standing on top of his kitchen counter to film this.
I was gonna say a skateboard, but I like on the kitchen counter too.
Maybe on a skateboard up there.
There you go. It's like, guys, I could totally manual if I wanted to.
idea of the inclusion of
He's
big
turning this into a
ideas,
TikTok video.
for
Why is
a
Cory
liberal
Booker moderating?
party into the future.
I don't know, but I don't really have a problem with it. I like that.
Joe Biden is that everything
Well,
he does.
it couldn't have been any of the whites.
If he comes
and
with an
they weren't
ambitious
going to give it to Andrew
plan
Yang.
to address climate change, all of a sudden everyone's going to follow his lead. You can see it with
So
him choosing Kamala too.
Booker really
he
is
wants
the
to build
best
the best team. Let's do it together. That's how we're going to rebuild this country.
Corey, I'm so optimistic.
Yo,
for
Yang
the
went,
future right now,
went
despite
super
some
establishment.
very dark
Kind of
days
disappointing.
for a lot of our fellow
A little
Americans,
disappointing,
in large
but
part because
also
of
I can see from his position that, because they invited him in, you know what I mean? And so I can see that kind of power brokerage being incredibly, you know, it's like a siren song, right?
Yeah, it's a long-term move. It's not unintelligent, but it's just uninspiring.
Well, and I'll say this about Yang, his fundamental ideas haven't changed all that much by being put into the establishment. They don't let, you know, they let him in, right? They let him on MSNBC, they let him on CNN, you know, he does the ABC, NBC, CBS, you know, rounds and stuff like that. So, but like as far as like actual power, he does not have that.
Well, that's why he has to do it, right? Like you have to conform until you are big enough and have enough of a base, enough support or a position of power.
You got to have that Dave Chappelle fuck you money.
Exactly.
Right?
He doesn't have the fuck you money.
He doesn't have the fuck you money.
He has the some people know who I am, and I got to kind of play the game until I'm bigger. You know what I mean? I appreciate him, and I know he's keeping it real deep down.
The Yang Gang is actually still pretty pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, it's still pretty emphatic, you know?
Well, and it was a very diverse group too. Oh, fuck this.
Oh,
Bloomberg,
my
bitch.
fucking God. Mike Bloomberg.
Hold up, let's hear what this fucking piece of
I've
shit
actually
has to
been
say.
a Democrat,
Mikey
Republican, and
Bloomberg.
independent.
I've supported Democrats, I've supported Republicans, I've supported independents because I have no soul and I have no ideology.
Running for president
It's who is going to give me the most money immediately. I'm Mike Bloomberg. Vote for Mike Bloomberg.
Where are my tax cuts? I'm 5 foot
He
tall.
knows everything.
Am I president yet? I gave $1 billion to this motherfucker. $1 billion is what I paid for this, and I'm not president?
It's the one thing I couldn't buy.
Here's another difference. One has proven he knows how to handle a
How do
crisis
you think that is
by
as a
helping to lead
billionaire
the
to
economic
not be able
turnaround
to
after
afford
the
something?
2008
I think it probably
recession.
killed him. I'm
While
surprised he
the
hasn't committed
other has not
suicide.
only
Just a little
failed to
bit,
lead,
right?
Yeah.
He has made the current
You probably
crisis
couldn't get
much
hard
worse.
for like
When
months.
confronted with the
He
biggest
realized just how
calamity any
tiny of a
president
man
has
he is,
faced in
you
the
know what I
modern
mean?
era,
Right.
Donald Trump
I know.
talking about his height. The threat,
Oh, I was talking about his
ignoring
micro
science,
penis.
and
Oh,
recommending
well, I think both
quack
apply,
cures,
actually.
which
There's a lot of
when
layers to that
COVID-19
joke.
spread much faster than it should have, leaving hundreds of thousands.
Have you guys seen
needlessly
Mad
sick or
Max
dead.
Beyond Thunderdome?
He has failed the American
Of
people.
course I've seen Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, dude.
I
Tina
watched that.
Turner
I came
is a
before this very
delight.
convention and
Great,
said,
great
New
part of the
Yorkers will
movie.
con
But her rival, her political rival in Bartertown, I forget his name. I watched the movie last night, so it's fresh in my mind. But I don't remember his name. But he's a little dude who rides around on the shoulders of a large guy. Oh, it's
Yeah.
Master Blaster. Master Blaster.
Master Blaster, yeah.
And Mike Bloomberg reminds me of Master, of the Master Blaster duo.
Right. Yeah. Just a little dwarf, and he's like, "You can't do that. You can't do that."
He runs the pig shit farm that's under the city.
Right.
Even when it hurts the company, and whose reckless decisions
Master Blaster, dude.
and
You know,
spends more
it
time tweeting than working.
it was one of those that I went back and watched Mad Max 2, and then realized that the newest Mad Max, what was it, Freedom Road or Fury Road, was just a remake of the second Mad Max.
Yeah.
Always leaving behind customers and contractors who were cheated and
What's
sold
really
and
crazy
stopped doing business with him.
is if you go back to the first one,
all of us
Like
are paying the
the
price.
first one, Mad Max was just like a cop, and he was.
It's not even the same movie.
No, it's not even the same universe. He was just like
It's just a
police
chase
officer
movie.
who
Yeah.
would chase people, who would like chase people for speeding.
Yeah.
The Trump administration did over their first 3. And economic growth was higher.
They gave this motherfucker more speaking time than AOC.
Well, AOC didn't donate $1 billion to the Democratic Party. He literally just bought this time.
Dude, I think AOC in the House at least raises more money than like almost Nancy Pelosi.
Look, our goal shouldn't be to bring back the pandemic economy.
All she has to do is put up a Facebook post and apparently gets like $2 million.
I mean, that sounds right to me, dude. Isn't she on like Twitch now?
Oh, dude, I'm sure they got her on any kind of public, social media presence.
She's big on League of Legends, though. I mean, like she like games.
What?
Yeah, she plays LOL.
What a joke.
She lols?
She lols, yeah. I don't know if she lols publicly, but I think she has a Twitch, and she may have started, or
and she does
may
a
have talked about it.
Twitch stream?
I know for a fact that she does lol. I don't know if she games on Twitch while lolling.
Yeah,
That's actually kind of cool.
But she tweets about lols.
Training for adults who have lost jobs and making college more affordable.
I've done a
And
little
investing
league
in American research and
in my
development
time.
so that the products of tomorrow are made today by American workers.
God, Bloomberg's so full of shit.
I was more of a tank.
Is the greatest country in the world.
I never played.
That's always kind of been my favorite type of play style is heavy armor and just go in and get the shit beat out of me and beat the shit out of other people.
Dude, this Bloomberg fucking cuck is sitting here trying to talk about like bringing jobs to America while investing heavily.
My favorite childhood book was Johnny Tremaine about a Boston boy who joins the Sun Deliberate. I've actually read that book.
Oh my god, that was also my favorite childhood book. No, dude, but like look at his investments, man. He fucking invests heavily in companies that just float shit overseas. Like,
This whole sorry chapter in American history.
your money is more important than America, you piece of shit.
He made his billions by creating a program that helps rich people become richer. That's what he did.
Yep.
That is how he made his money.
He was making shovels in the gold rush.
Right, exactly. Pickaxes.
Fucking old enough. Pickaxes are probably taller than him. All right, let's turn it up.
Hard to remember. Watch. Person, woman, man, camera, TV, 30330. Anyone can do it. I want to introduce you now to a young man who Vice President Biden met earlier this year in New Hampshire and helped
I'm gonna have to
find
watch
his
Veep
voice.
after this, dude.
Say hello to Braden Harrington.
Person,
It's really
woman, man,
Hi, my name
camera.
is Braden Harrington, and I'm
PB.
13 years old. And without Joe Biden,
Can we
I
stop
wouldn't be
with the
talking
fucking
to you today.
kids?
About a few
Dude, we
months
love
ago,
children.
I met him in New
They're the
Hampshire.
future.
He told me that we were members of the same club.
Yes, children. Tell me what your parents think.
Stutter. It was really amazing to hear that
Oh,
someone like me
Oh
became
my god, dude.
move about
I'm
that
still
vice
convinced that Joe Biden doesn't actually have a stutter.
Dude.
president.
Yeah, or like it was extremely minor.
A book of poems.
I don't believe that.
How do you go 40 years in public life and nobody knew that you had this affliction? You're telling me that Joe Biden would never have talked about his overcoming stuttering?
Are you sure he
That's what
never
you're telling
talked
me.
about it?
I don't think he ever talked about it.
I don't, dude. He's been in public life for like 40 years. I was listening to a thing today about how he used to just like steal other people's speeches back in like the 70s and 80s. I had no idea he used to do that. Like, there's so much shit he's done.
That's why he had to drop out of the presidency the first time.
Yeah, because he just kept
Because he got
stealing some
caught
British guy's
plagiarizing.
speeches.
We need the world to feel
At this point, people don't care about such things.
And it wasn't even like subtle. It was like, it wasn't just like a line or two. It was like a good like 3 minutes of someone else's words.
Well, and before the internet, you could get away with that.
Yeah. It took a minute, and then once people found out, then they started looking at his other speeches, and they're like, "Bro, you've been doing this for like a while."
I mean, he like stole from like
Someone who will make our country
Neville Chamberlain and like British PMs. You know what I mean? Like big, not Neville Chamberlain. That was probably a little too before his time. But like, who the fuck was before Margaret Thatcher?
I met Joe, I was really new at my synagogue.
I don't even know.
Not sure.
And a shiva, and towards the
That I do not know.
This person who was
So we have a rabbi on the screen right now. Do you think the Jewish people are going to come home for Joe Biden, or do you think they stick with Trump because he's been better with Israel?
I'm pretty sure the majority voted for Hillary in 2016. I think it's going to split the same way it always does. There's going to be the 20% or 25% who vote Republican.
The ultra conservative.
Right, for the Israel support stuff. And then
you're ultra orthodox and whatnot.
Right. And then you have the reform community.
Yeah.
Who typically vote Democrat.
You guys might have thought we were smaller.
I think it'll probably still break along those lines.
Wait, these are Biden's granddaughters? Yo, that one has eyebrows, John. Don't you like that?
Dude, don't.
With chocolate sprinkles.
Don't.
No, chocolate chip in it.
You had a nose, and you got your perfect girl right there, dude.
I'm not making any sort of comments at all.
I'm so confused.
Every day. Like if we don't talk to him for like a day,
He'll ask what's wrong.
Yeah, he'll think we're like, not a lot.
He always calls with the same energy, even after he's just done 15 interviews in a row. Hi, Pop. I was just talking about you.
I don't necessarily pick up every day, but I have a lot of voicemails. He will pick up our calls.
That's pretty
no
fucking
matter
rude, not
where
answering
he
your phone.
is. He'd be
Wow,
like
you don't
on
pick
stage
up for
giving
your
a speech.
grandfather?
Yeah, you're a
Call him
shit
and be like,
person.
"What's wrong? Is everything good?" He'd be like,
It's your grandparents' call.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm so happy I don't have any famous
It's a lot
relatives.
of time together. It's like we've,
Or like
we've
powerful
grown up
relatives.
together.
Yeah.
He's made sure that every single tradition, every holiday, we're all together.
I would
I
hate
don't
to do
think that
something
there's
like
been
this. I'm like, do I
any
gotta fucking be on
decision,
TV?
no
Are you
matter how big or
serious?
Yeah.
small, that we
Do I
have
have to be on
sacrificed
national
as a family.
television?
Can I please not?
Pop told us that this election would be totally different from any other election ever.
He was worried how it would affect his kids.
I do like
Whether
how
or
they
not
call him
we
Pop,
wanted
though.
to go through another campaign and be
Yeah,
scrutinized
that's
by
a
the
legit
press.
grandfather
There have been
name.
talks of
It's
opening
super
meetings.
chill. Hey, what's up, Pop?
Normally called by the parents, I would say, but this
Pop's
time
in
it
the
was
corner,
called by
drunk
me.
as shit
I
again.
came down from Penn, and Maisie came up from DC, and my cousins lived down the road.
He thought we were calling a meeting sort of to like discuss, whether or not
All right, I'm kind of bored with
Hard vocal fry.
get in that race.
We just knew
this.
that
Everyone just spit out my beer.
we weren't going to take no as an answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get my make my drink while this is happening. Y'all have fun. Hey, John, don't get too turned on by those eyebrows, okay?
Get out of here, dude.
I love you too.
I don't support.
We want to ensure that our kids
Do
live
not.
in a nation that
Steph
is safe,
Curry,
happy,
bro.
healthy, and fair. And so this election,
We're voting for Joe Biden. Let's
Dude,
have a
they
conversation
have
with these kids.
all the people on this, man.
Let's jump right in, shall we?
Dude, I do love though that they have like Steph Curry and Dreyfus and like all these like Hollywood stars and like sports stars and like military goats, and then the RNC has like the My Pillow guy.
Oh, you're right, man. My pillow guy is gonna be in this probably.
Pillow guy's gotta be there.
Fuck yes. The cross that he wears on his neck is gonna be just massive.
It's gonna, yeah.
Bro, every time I see him in public.
Dude, I secretly think that he's scared of vampires or something because it's just so aggressive.
Do you know where the president lives?
In the White House, Washington, D.C.
Do you know
Yeah, he's actually heavily involved in the
what
Trump
the
administration.
president's
Is he?
job is?
Yeah, I've seen him at multiple events and press conferences and stuff.
Safe.
That is
weird, man. I'm gonna have to look into that. I was wondering why he was there. I know. Didn't they just go bankrupt?
No idea.
I think the company just went under. They got sued for fraud or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, thank God. I got the word on that early and dumped all of my mind.
Yeah, I have a problem where I'll read the news in the morning when I wake up as like my thing to wake up when I'm in bed on my phone, and then I'll just forget it by the time I'm actually awake. So I have like a blurry memory of what happened in the Washington Post or something, but I don't fucking remember.
for president.
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I do the same. I wake up, usually wake up around 5:30 and like snooze for an hour, halfway snoozing and watching YouTube and whatever. Then I get up and go to work.
Why?
Shit, they got the go?
Yeah, bro. And his kids are adorable.
Women, like being president and helping alongside the president.
How important do you think your faith is in the way that you live your life?
Why does
Really big.
Why
I'm
does
grateful for all the things
God
that
damn
I
it, dude.
have.
I fucking hate the Democrats.
I fucking hate how much they're bringing up faith in God. I feel really just rejected by this party right now.
Yeah.
Like, do I have no place as an atheist here? Because apparently everyone like lives their life according to their faith, and if you don't live your life according to your faith, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, as an atheist, you hate Christians, and hate has no home in the Democratic Party.
I was gonna say, you being an atheist and you being a piece of shit are mutually exclusive.
Please vote.
You being an atheist is one of your redeeming qualities.
I appreciate you saying that, Chris. I actually do, in a weird way. I'm like, thank you. It's not the atheist thing that's the problem. Thank you.
No, you're
I've
just
been
a
saying
jerk.
that. No, I'm just an asshole. That has nothing
Yeah,
to do
you're
with
just
our
a
religious beliefs.
douchebag.
Yes, stop mixing them. All right, we're backtracked.
Yeah, give it back to Julia.
Look, elections can break your heart, but sometimes they can make you sing from the mountaintops. And this year, we're going to sing. This year, we're going to elect a president who's honest, experienced, and intelligent. A president who actually believes in the rule of law, who will restore dignity and normalcy to the White House and the soul of this nation. And boy, won't that be something.
Who was the last
One
president
of my
who gave a
favorite things
fuck
Joe
about the
Biden
rule of
says
law?
is that you can succeed in life without sacrificing your ideals or
Washington?
your commitment to family. So,
That might
who
be
better
right.
to introduce our
I
nominee,
think it's right,
Joe
honestly.
Biden.
Immediately went downhill after him.
That might be right.
I'm Hunter Biden.
And I'm Ashley
It's not
Biden.
even a troll. I just
Joe
think
Biden
it's
is our
legit.
dad.
And Bo is
Wait,
our
Hunter?
We want to tell you
Hunter,
what kind of
I
president
didn't-
our dad
They
is.
gave Hunter playtime?
And honest.
caring and
Do
principled.
the Ukrainians
listen,
know he's
he'll be
on
there when you
national
need him.
television?
He'll tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it.
He'll never let you down.
He'll be rock steady.
What
The
was the name of
strongest
the
shoulder
company?
you can ever lean on.
Burisma?
He'll
Yeah,
beam with
Burisma.
pride every time you succeed.
How much was he
He'll
getting
make
paid?
your
300,000
grandkids
a
feel
month?
that what they've
It was
got to
100,000
say
a
It was
month?
50K a
matters.
month.
He'll
50K
treat
a month.
everyone
For being
with
on the board of
respect, no
Burisma,
matter
yeah.
who you are.
That's
He'll
a
get up no
fucking
matter how many times he's been
paycheck,
knocked
boy.
down.
He'll be the worst
Can
enemy
you imagine
any
getting
bully ever saw.
50K a month?
He'll be the best friend you've ever had.
He'll
For, like,
love you
doing
with
nothing,
all of his
essentially.
heart.
And if you give him your
Oh, you know that
cell phone number,
He's
motherfucker
going to
maybe
call it.
made
How do we
one
know?
like
Because
video
he's been
call,
that way
right?
our whole
That's
life.
yeah. He was on the
He's
board. That's
been
all
a
boards
great
do. They check
father.
in like quarterly,
we
and they're
think
like,
he'll be a
"Oh, is this
great
going completely
president."
downhill?"
Bo
Okay.
isn't with us any longer.
See you next quarter.
But he's still very much alive in our hearts.
All right, well,
And we can still hear his
let me
strong
know.
voice.
Just like it was yesterday.
Oh, fucking
Just
poor
like
Doug.
it was
He
yesterday.
posted.
It's like
In
the whole
2008
executive
and
team of the company's like
2012,
panicking for an
he
entire
introduced our
week because
dad
the
to
board
Can you
those
make
videos.
that 50
And
out
if he
to
was
cash
here,
next time,
Pretty
actually?
sure we'd know what he'd say.
Non-sequential, unmarked
Show you a film about our
Ukrainian
dad's journey.
rubles.
I got
We
a
wanted
I got
to
a
give Bo your
cocaine
last
thing,
word.
if you know what I mean.
Bo,
Bo.
What currency do they use in Ukraine?
Oil petrodrachmas. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say petrodollars, right?
My children love and adore.
Dude, the petrodrachmas.
The
That's a
petrodrachma.
callback. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. I loved that joke. RP callback, dude. You gotta have him.
Gotta have them. Gotta bring them back occasionally. Oh, here we go. Sarah McLachlan in the arms of an angel. Do you remember how bad it was?
Shattered.
Do you remember what Donald Trump did to us?
The American story.
You should write these ads.
Who did? I do write these ads. Why do you think I fucking hate them so much?
True.
America, point on the map where Donald Trump touched you.
I do it as like comedic relief, and then the fucking, you know, top brass comes down. They're like, this is great.
This is gold, dude. This is gold.
This is great. The normies are gonna love it. And I was like, I was being a douchebag, and they're like, wait, don't worry about it, man. Keep douching.
keep making these ironic ads.
Well, your douche is great.
Well, you got a clean butthole. Let's just keep it at that.
But Joe remembered his father and what it meant to lose a job.
Who's that? Oh, Joe's dad.
The Finnegans and Biden.
Holy shit.
Catholic.
What?
Look at that. That's a very nice wedding there.
Irish Catholics.
Joe
Do you remember when one wage-earner could support a whole family?
That was
you
cute.
probably don't remember that, actually.
Because everyone who remembers it is like dead or has
The thing that
dementia.
was most important was family and family.
Do you remember when Trump took that away from you?
As the post-war boom
When the Russians took it away from you.
Yeah, there you go.
I always bring that shit up with people because they're like, no, it's like people are lazy now or they don't work hard enough or whatever. I'm like, motherfucker, one normal ass person could support a wife and like 3 kids, and that is impossible now.
On 40 hours a week, dude.
On 40 hours a week.
40 hours.
And it is utterly impossible.
Yeah, acting like that is because people don't work hard enough now. Is first of all, that's peak boomer mentality.
Yeah.
And second of all, that's like internalizing the logic of your oppressed.
Tens of thousands of jobs a day.
Well, and who took away that lifestyle, right? It was the boomers.
Joe Biden was handled the task of going to get those 3 Republican votes.
Joe returned to the place where
First
he
bunch
had
of
been
fucking
so
boomers.
effective.
They'll never know how they really are.
They're defending the bailouts right now. I think is what's happening.
To make adjustments and accommodations to bring people on board.
Dude, it was so funny that somebody was like, and Joe Biden has fought corruption. And I was like, how?
Calling mayors and governors.
Yeah,
how the fuck has he done that?
All fucking one person who went to jail that was like a low-level employee during the fucking economic crisis.
Like, he was Senate leadership.
That you have in your mind.
You know what I mean? Like, he helped with the TARP bill.
That you're trying to reach the people whose lives are affected by what you do.
The skills that had made
What was it? The toxic asset relief program?
Yeah.
TARP.
The problem. Joe had a stutter.
And it's mortifying. It allows that.
Oh, we're really going into the Biden stutter, huh?
His teacher mimicked him, and Joe ran home from school.
They're really trying to bump that one into us in case there's debates. Remember the stutter. Do you remember?
You're right. That is probably what they're doing. They're preempting his verbal mistakes.
Do you remember
Joe
the stutter? You remember?
Some letters are harder than others.
He looks the same.
Get up at night and go stand in front of the mirror with a flashlight and practice. She'd make me look her in the eye.
Here's the thing about Joe. You could tell him anything about his life, and once he got it down, he could tell it like it actually happened.
Yeah.
Well, and the other benefit about being this age is that anyone who could disagree with you is probably dead. So
other people
is dead, right? They're
no one
dead
can say
or they're
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And there's no record. Like you could just make. It was like back in the day, man. You could just make anything up. That's why we had the best grifters in like the 40s and 50s, because we had automobiles, so you could move towns, but you couldn't be tracked.
That we really didn't know one another.
Can't believe you
After
just said
Martin Luther King Jr.
automobile.
was assassinated, riots broke out in Wilmington.
I just missed the grifting days, man.
And the National Guard stayed for almost a year.
I quit.
Yeah, and what did Joe Biden do about it?
Trump's National Guard, dude. That was Trump's fault.
You won't see Joe Biden with one picture in front of black people, but he was there for civil rights.
In a solidly Republican state, and few took Joe's campaign.
Chris, if you're black, you're voting for him, okay?
The Democratic Party was
That's true.
functional. When it got time to
He says some
put up
dumb
a
shit.
candidate, they didn't want to touch it. This young upstart, Joe Biden, who had a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
And
Based on all the shit that you're talking on Joe, Chris, I can already tell you ain't black.
Yeah,
have a coffee,
I'm
and
not.
Come out of that, we'd have 5 more coffees. He was very articulate on the issues. He brought people to say, not just that, well, I agree with what you're doing, is, what can I do to help?
Delaware is the first state. J. Caleb Boggs, who is the incumbent Republican.
I got Mediterranean blood, which used to mean something back in the day, but, now I'm just white American.
Is Joe Biden gonna fucking speak at any point? Like, I thought that.
I bet they only give him 10 minutes, dude.
All right,
Couldn't speak longer than that.
I'm gonna get another drink. I'm fucking bored of this shit.
In 1973.
You better hurry up, man.
Pretty fast.
We're gonna miss it.
I'm telling you. How long are they gonna give him?
Don't blink.
They convinced me to stay.
Hey-yo.
Just stay 6 months, Joe. Remember, Jenny? Just stay
Ted
6
Kennedy.
months.
Why would you mention Ted Kennedy?
Allow the suffering to
Fritz
debilitate
Hollings.
him.
That's an interesting one.
Just
That's a
like he
South
couldn't allow
Carolinian.
the stuttering to define him. That's the backbone. There's something bigger than
Joe
Joe's
Biden didn't let his stutter define him.
The Senate turned out
Remember
to be a
that.
wonderful place.
Remember the
He
stutter.
had a real gift. for bringing
Trump's
people
just gonna be like, "Oh, you mean Stuttering Joe?"
Now that's a nickname.
Yeah, he's like, Stuttering Joe. Don't
That's
really
a
want to go
nickname.
with Stutter to be president. I like my presidents to be able to speak.
Oh my god, dude! I could see him saying that is the problem.
I like Stuttering Joe, dude. That's the best nickname I've heard yet.
That's so bad, man. That's so bad.
Growing up, it
Call
was
him Joey
full
2
of
times.
adventure,
Why?
I don't support this, man.
Why do you call him 2 times? Because he says everything twice.
What's that from?
It's from Goodfellas.
That's
It was like Tommy 2 times or something like that.
You don't have
I'm gonna go get us the paper. Get us the paper.
Yeah, I remember
The
that.
great benefit of being my father is that he doesn't have to contort himself into different people at different times.
Bo was going to do.
Bo
very
really
big
was
things.
the
He
good
had
son,
it all.
wasn't he?
And then he got.
So it seems.
Do you think? How much do you think that pisses off
The
Hunter?
whole world tilted.
Well, Hunter's had a lot of problems.
Well, Paul, you've had a brother that's overshadowed you. What do you think about that?
Fucking hate you, dude. And much like Hunter, that's why I just have huge drug problems and sold myself out to a Ukrainian oil company.
Yeah, you wish.
It's really.
Yeah, if they offered.
If they offered, I'd do it.
You fucking wish.
I'm sorry. Can I sell my soul to Ukraine to get you on America's good side? Here for it.
Yeah, Ukraine guys, oligarchs. Check out our Patreon.
Yeah, check our. We will. We will promote your petrodolars.
Listen, if the price is right, I will push your propaganda.
Time in the Senate and then the White House.
How much you
Joe
think?
always found
How much
ways
you think
to
Putin paying these days?
I don't know, dude, but I don't know why Putin is paying all these piece of shit Russian GRU trolls when he could just be paying us.
And always holding.
You know?
He's kind of got his hands full in Belarus right now. Who would have thought, dude? I would have never thought that Belarus was going to be like one of the thorns in Putin's side.
That is a bit of a shocker. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about Chile too.
Yeah, we need to have another international.
Yeah.
Dude, they're like Molotoving cop cars in Chile. It's radical there.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy shit. We gotta talk about it.
To have somebody who believes in what's best in us. Somebody
That's why we suck in
apparently-
America,
Apparently,
dude.
there's a real Maoist contingent in Chile, which I was not aware of.
We need more Red Book, man. Papa Joe, hold up.
Here he
Oh, hell
is.
yeah.
all the way up.
Good evening. Ella Baker, a giant of the civil rights movement, left us with this wisdom.
Cory
Give
Booker,
people light, and they will find the way. Give people light. Those are words for our time. The current
Didn't we already
president
say
has
that?
cloaked American darkness for much too long. Too much anger, too much fear, too much division. Here and now, I give you my word. If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst. I'll be an ally of the light, not the darkness. It's time for us, for we the people, to come together. And make no mistake, united we can and will overcome this season of darkness in America. We'll choose hope over fear, facts over fiction, fairness over privilege. I'm a proud Democrat, and I'll be proud to carry the banner of our party into the general election. So it's with great honor and humility
Dude. I'll give him that
I
much.
accept
He's got
this
that smirk,
nomination
baby.
for President of the United States of America.
And in speech.
But while I'll be
Oh my
candidate,
God!
Nailed
Can
it.
you
I'll be
imagine?
an American
Nailed it.
president.
Could you imagine?
I'll work hard for those who didn't support me, as hard for them as I did for those who did vote for me. That's the job of a president, to represent all of us, not
That was
just
a
our
tough
base
little
or
sentence.
our party. This is not a partisan moment. This must be an American moment. It's a moment that calls for hope and light.
I'll support
and love.
the people
Hope
who
for our
didn't
future.
support me
Light
and
to see our
supported
way
me.
forward.
Support them.
Love for one another. America isn't just a collection of clashing interests of red states or blue states. We're so much bigger than that.
Really?
We're so much better
That's
than
interesting.
I don't think we are.
that. No, nearly a century ago,
I think we're mostly clashing interests.
Franklin Roosevelt pledged a New Deal.
Where you
in a
living,
time
bro?
of massive
There you go.
unemployment,
There's your
uncertainty, and
FDR
fear.
reference, Paul.
Yeah, boot.
Stricken by a disease,
I'm gonna
stricken
drink
by
for
a
that.
virus, FDR insisted that he would recover and prevail, and he believed America could as well. And he
Wait,
did.
is he
and
saying
we
he's
can
FDR
as
with
well.
polio?
This campaign isn't just about winning votes.
Yeah, but instead
It's
of
about
polio,
winning
he
the
was a
heart
stutter.
and, yes, the
Oh.
soul of America.
Oh, South
Winning
America
it for
drink.
the generous among us, not the selfish.
Drink.
Winning it for workers who keep this country going, not just the privileged few at the top. Winning it for those communities who have known the
Nice.
injustice of a knee on the neck. For all the young people who have known only America being in rising inequity and shrinking opportunity. They deserve the experience of America's promise. They deserve to experience it in full. You
And
know,
who
no
led
generation
8
ever
years
knows
of
what
that
history will ask of
rising
it.
inequity
All we can ever know
and
is
rising
whether we're
inequality?
ready
Huh?
when that
Who
moment
was there for
arrives.
most of that?
And now history
Donald
has
Trump.
delivered us
Oh.
to one of the most
Yeah.
difficult moments
Yeah, I
America's
think
ever
you forgot.
faced.
He's been in charge for
Four.
30 years.
Yeah, I forgot
Four
that
historic crises.
Last
he
30
was
years.
president
same
during
time.
08.
A perfect storm. The worst pandemic in over 100 years. The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The most compelling call for racial justice since the 60s. And the undeniable realities and just the accelerating threats of climate change.
Yes.
No,
So the
I
question
don't
for us
support
is
that
simple.
joke.
Are we ready?
What?
I believe we are. We must be. You know, all elections are important. We know in our bones this one is more consequential. As many have said, America's at an
You think they
inflection
told him
point.
to stutter a couple of times?
Time of real
Can we stop
peril,
making stutter
also
jokes? I don't like those
extraordinary
at all.
possibilities.
Give us at least 3
We can
stutters,
choose a
Joe,
path
okay?
of becoming
You've done
angry,
like 10.
less hopeful, more divided, a path of shadow and suspicion, or we can choose a different path and together take this chance to heal, to reform, to unite, a path of hope and light. This is a life-changing election. This will determine what America is going to look like for a long, long time. Character is on the ballot. Compassion is on the ballot. Decency, science, democracy, they're all on the ballot. Who we are as a nation, what we stand for, and most
Are we convincing
importantly,
Republicans
who
yet?
we want to be, that's all on the ballot. And the choice could not be more clear. No rhetoric is needed. Just judge this president on the facts. 5 million Americans infected by COVID-19. More than 170,000
Just think that any Republican
Americans
who
have died.
was even thinking
By
about voting
far
for a
the worst
Democrat
performance
already
of any nation
made their
on
mind up.
earth.
Yeah,
More than
Drank
50
Biden's
million
dropping
people have
stats.
filed for unemployment this year. More than
No, they've
10
totally made
million
their mind
people
up. I think all of this
are
is
gonna
completely
lose their
irrelevant.
health insurance this year. Nearly 1 in 6 small businesses have closed this year. And this president, if he's reelected, you know what will happen. Cases and deaths will remain far too high. More mom and pop businesses will close their doors.
Are we still
this time
having
for
COVID?
good.
I thought that was over by now.
Working families will struggle
I
to
thought
get
I was just
by.
working from home
And
for
yet the
fun.
wealthiest 1% will get
Yeah, I'm pretty
tens
sure
of
it's
billions
over.
of dollars in new tax breaks. And the assault on the Affordable Care Act will continue until it's destroyed, taking insurance away from more than 20 million people, including more than 15 million people on Medicaid.
Medicaid.
Getting rid of the protections
Medicaid.
President Obama worked so hard to get passed for people who have 100 million more people who have pre-existing conditions. And speaking of President Obama,
Drake
again, I was
Obama.
honored to serve alongside for 8 years as vice president.
Oh,
Let me
you
take this
betcha.
moment to say something we don't say nearly enough. Thank you, Mr. President. You were a great president. A president our children could and did
Drank
look
because he
up
said
to.
president 3 times in 1 second.
No
Yeah,
one's
we'll
going to
say
say
it.
that about the current occupant of the White House.
Mr. President,
about
you
this
were
president
the president
is
that
if he's
we
given 4 more
needed
years,
and the
he'll be
president
what he's
we
been for
deserved.
the last.
I
President.
really hope that wasn't on the teleprompter
President
because you got to
takes no
vary words,
responsibility,
man.
refuses to
That's just
lead,
bad writing.
blames others, cozies up to dictators, and fans the flames of hate and division.
Well, listen, Erdogan
He'll
just
wake
seems
up
like a
every
cool
day
guy,
believing
you
the
know?
job is all
Have you
about
seen his
him.
Lambos?
Never about you. Is that the American you want for you, your family, your children? I see a different America, one that's generous and strong, selfless and humble. It's an America we can rebuild together. As president, the first step I will take will be to get control of the virus that has ruined so many lives. Because I understand
I'm
something
thriving.
this
I
president
don't know what
hasn't
he's
from the
talking about.
beginning. We will never get our economy back on track. We will
Isn't
never
that
get our
amazing to
kids
think
safely
about
back
that
in
we're
school.
still going to be
We'll never
in
have
this
our lives
shit
back
by
until
the
we deal
time
with this virus.
this election happens?
I
Tragedy
have
where we are
a
today is it
episode
didn't
that I
have to
recorded,
be
like a
this
conspiracy
bad.
corner again, about why
Just look
we're going to be in the
around.
shit for the next like
It's not this
5
bad
years.
in Canada or Europe or Japan or almost
We're not getting a
anywhere else in the
vaccine.
world. And the president keeps telling us the virus is going to disappear. He keeps waiting for a miracle. Well, I have news for him. No miracle is coming.
Whoa,
We
can a
lead the world in
Catholic say
confirmed
that?
Cases. Lead the world in deaths.
Listen,
Our
God
economy
helps
is in
those who help
tatters,
themselves,
with
man.
Black,
I learned that from Joe
Latino,
Biden.
Asian American, Native American
God
communities
helps
bearing the
those
brunt
who
of
go
it.
to statues and
And
rub
after
the feet
all
of the
this time,
statue.
the president
Fuck,
still
is that what
does
I've been
not
needing
have
to
a
do?
plan.
I agree.
Well, I
You
do.
need to rub the statue and you need to
If
pay
I'm your
the $2
president on
to
day
get the
one,
candle at the Catholic Church.
we'll implement the national
Does it have to be a
strategy I've been
Catholic
laying out
statue I
since
rub, or can it be
March.
any statue?
No, it
We'll
has to be
develop
Catholic.
and deploy rapid tests.
Catholic is the
with
right
results
religion.
available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. We'll make them here in America. So
Does
we will
Joe
never
Biden
again
make Catholicism the
be at
state
the mercy
religion
of
of
China
America?
or other foreign countries.
Yes,
in order to
immediately. I think
protect
that's
our
day
own
one
people.
shit.
Finally.
We'll make
You
sure
know-
our schools
that's
have
one
the
thing that
resources they
plagues the
need
monarchist
to be open,
community.
safe, and effective.
Most of them are Catholic
We'll put
monarchists.
politics aside. We'll take the muzzle
Well, I think
off our
that's going to
experts.
end up being who our
The
monarch is,
public
right? We're
gets
just
the
going to become
information
a papist
they
state.
need and deserve.
Yeah.
Honest,
Thanks to Joe Biden. I mean, JFK
unvarnished
was going to
truth.
do it, and that's why the CIA
They
assassinated him.
can handle it.
I heard that.
We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another.
Yeah, patriotism
In
masks.
short, we'll do what we should have done from the very
Hey,
beginning.
John, they didn't forget the
Our
American
current
flags
president
this
has
time,
failed.
did they?
In his
They did
most
not.
basic duty to
4.
the nation.
First thing I
He's
noticed.
failed to protect us.
No, actually, it's
He's failed to
5 because the
protect
backdrop's a
America.
flag, too.
And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As president, I'll make you a
They
promise.
got more than 4. I think
I'll
they're lined
protect
up on both
America.
sides.
Yeah, I think
I'll
they're.
defend us from every
I think there's
attack,
like 8.
seen and unseen.
There's at least
Always,
4 in the shot
without
plus the
exception,
backshot.
every time.
Well, plus this lapel pin.
Look,
There you go. 6 flags, dude.
It
I
just in
understand
this
how
shot.
hard it is
He
to
said,
have
"Is
any
that
hope
America enough for you, bitch?"
this summer night.
He's got an American tattoo on his
Take a
ass
moment to
too.
speak to those of you who have lost the most.
That's just a good
Have
patriot,
some idea how
though.
it feels to lose someone you love.
Does he have a tattoo?
I know that deep black hole.
There's
that
no
opens
way,
up in
dude. A
the middle of
good
your chest
Catholic
and you
boy
feel
like
you're being
him.
sucked into it.
Nah, dude, he's a rad Catholic.
I
He's
know,
got a
mean,
huge sleeve that you just
cruel.
can't see because of his suit.
And unfair. Life can be sometimes.
The fuck is a rad Catholic?
But I've learned 2 things.
It's Joe Biden.
Oh.
First, your loved one may have left this earth,
dude,
but they'll never leave your heart. They'll always be with you. You'll always hear them. And second, I found the best way through pain and loss and grief is to find purpose. As God's children, each of us have a purpose in our lives.
They
We have a
really
great
did hit
purpose
the
as a
God
nation.
card pretty hard tonight.
To open the doors of opportunity to all Americans, to save our democracy, to be a light to the world once again.
Can we just jump to RNC with the pillow
Finally
guy?
to live up to and make real the words.
This is
written
too
in
heavy.
the
This is
sacred
not on brand
documents
for
that
RP.
founded this nation.
Yeah, dude. I
All
want my
men and women are created
smashing
equal,
watermelons like
endowed by their Creator with
Yeah.
certain inalienable
Where's the
rights,
watermelon
among them
smashing?
life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I want to go to a comedy show
You know,
and
my
have
dad
to
was an
wear
honorable, decent
some
man.
kind of poncho.
He got knocked down a few times, pretty hard, but he always got
Or like
back
a
up.
Gwar concert, right,
He
John?
worked hard.
A Gwar
concert.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
He used to say, Joey,
I want to go somewhere where
I
a
don't expect
poncho
the
is
government to
recommended,
solve
but
my
I
problems, but I sure
decide
in hell
not to.
expect them to understand.
I want to
me.
get blood in my contacts.
And then he'd say, Joey, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity.
That really was one of the more
It's about respect.
horrifying sights,
It's
John.
about your place in the community.
You
It's
post
about being able
Gwar
to look your kid
concert.
in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay.
You were in your most primitive state
Never
I've
forgotten those
ever
lessons.
seen you.
Dude,
that's why my economic plan is all about jobs.
Joe is folksy,
dignity,
dude.
Respect and community.
He's good at
Together
it. He
we
really
can and
is.
will rebuild our
If he
economy.
has
And when
one
we do,
redeeming
we'll not only
quality,
build
it
back,
is his
we'll build back
ability
better. With
to
modern roads,
talk
bridges,
to normal
highways,
people.
broadband,
Donald Trump could never
ports
do
and
that.
airports.
No,
As
he
a new
can't.
Donald
foundation
Trump
for
could
economic
never
growth.
take an
With
Amtrak
pipes to
train
transport
and
clean
just talk to
water
the passengers.
to every community.
He couldn't do
Donald,
it.
yeah, Donald Trump is the guy who eats a piece of pizza with a fork and knife. You know what I mean?
No,
He's
to be
not.
fair, I don't know how much of
The healthcare
the
system
Congress
lowers
could
premiums,
do that.
Deductibles, drug prices. By building on the Affordable Care Act, he's
Yeah,
trying to
I'd
rip
agree with
away.
that. I think most probably could. At
There's
least,
an education
I'll tell you what,
system
most of the
that
fucking
trains
Senate
our
can't
people
for
for
sure.
the best jobs
Maybe
in
some
the
of the
21st
House.
century. There's not a single
But-
thing
That's a fair point.
American workers can't do. And where cost doesn't prevent young people from going to
Justin and
college
Mosh could have
and
got on
staying
the
in debt
Amtrak.
and crush them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think that's what makes
child care,
Biden
elder
so
care
effective, right? He
Yeah.
can
That makes
he
it
can
possible
look
for
you in the
parents to go to
face
work
and smile
and for
and
the
chat
elderly
with
to
you and
stay
be
in their
stabbing you in the
homes
back
with
with a dagger,
dignity.
right?
Well, he's not a fucking Ivy League cuck, dude. You know what I
It
mean?
reflects our values.
I think this is the first non-Ivy League
Power
ticket
rating.
in like ever.
They're the ones that built the middle class. With equal pay for women,
You know,
rising
funnily,
wages,
I didn't even think about this, but
a family on.
you know,
Yes,
how big is this
we're
for
gonna do more
Howard
than praise our
that
essential
they have a
workers.
VP
We're finally
pick?
gonna
I mean, that
pay them.
it's the first ever. Howard is
Yeah.
a historically
We can
black
and we will deal with
university.
climate change.
No, honestly, that
It's
is
not only a
huge.
crisis,
I hadn't thought
it's
about that
an
either, but
enormous opportunity.
that is quite a big deal.
Opportunity for America to lead the world in clean energy.
Where did Joey
Create
B go to
millions of
school?
New, good
I don't
paying
know,
jobs
look.
in the process. And we can pay for these investments by ending loopholes, unnecessary loopholes, and the president's $1.3 trillion
University of
tax
Delaware.
bill
Then he
to
went
the
to
wealthiest
law school at
1%
Syracuse.
And the biggest, most profitable corporations, some of
So
which
he's
do
like a
not pay
normal
any
human
tax at all.
when it comes to that shit, which is nice.
Because we don't need
Didn't
a
fuck.
tax
He's
code.
not fucking the Yale Harvard
that-
establishment.
That's
More than it
actually
was worth.
exceedingly normal.
Yeah, I know. Like he went to like a normal state
Far
school.
from it. But it's long past time.
The
wealthiest
return of the
people
normie.
and the biggest corporations in this country.
Actually, the more we're talking about this, I'm kind of in for Joe now.
And for our
How
Norman
the
boy.
fuck did
Social
he
Security is a
penetrate
sacred obligation.
the
promise made.
the establishment like he did?
40 years of attrition.
Break that promise.
Well,
He's
you know,
proposing
and
to
I was
eliminate
just
a
thinking
tax that pays for
Delaware
almost half the Social
is one of the
Security
great corporate
without any way of
tax-free
making up for that
zones.
lost revenue.
And
resulting
so,
in cuts.
you know, how much of
I will
his
not let that
constituency was people
If I'm
being
your
like, I
president,
don't want to
we're
pay
gonna protect
taxes.
Social
I don't want to pay
Security
corporate
and
taxes.
Medicare.
I don't
You
want to
have
pay
my
capital
word.
gains. I don't, you know what I mean? You just like start
voices
adding it all up and it's like, oh,
we're hearing in the
that's how he
country
got into
today
the establishment.
is from our young people.
Yeah, dude, he's hitting Social Security, Medicare, which
Speaking
is
to the
Trump is
inequity and
fucking.
injustice
He's hitting the good
of
points.
America. Economic injustice, racial injustice, environmental
That
He's not doing a
hear
bad
the
job, and
voices
this
if you
is
listen
we
to
talked
the
about this
conclusion of
earlier the other night
and whether it's
that
existential
Trump
existential
did a
threat
bad
posed by
job
climate
being
change,
like, you know, what was
the
it,
daily
Slow
fear of being
Joe or
gunned
whatever
down
it
in
was?
school,
What the
Yeah.
fuck has
or the
his
inability to get started
recent
in
one
Sleepy
been?
Joe. Sleepy
Sleepy
Joe
Joe.
is a big one.
would be the work of the
And
next
it's Sleepy
president
Joe
to
because, well, he
restore the
can't talk
progress
and he,
of
you know,
America to
stupid
everyone.
and you know what I mean? Like you had
I'm not gonna have to do it
all
alone.
Joe needed to
Because I'll
do
have a
was
great
to say
vice
words
president
in
on
a
my side.
coherent order tonight.
Senator
And he's
Kamala
doing
Harris,
it, man.
And he's done that.
He's doing it with a smirk, and he sounds good, and he's got an emotional story. He's got the vision. He's
She
got
knows about all the obstacles shown in the way
the
of
passion
so many
behind
young
it. He's got his why.
Women,
Like, I mean,
black women,
it's
black
they have a
Americans,
very
South
logical
Asian
narrative for
Americans,
why he should be
immigrants,
president, why he
the
would do a
left
good
out and the
job.
left behind.
Well, and it really
She's
does
overcome every
throw like a
obstacle
huge
she faced.
wrench into the
No
Trump
one's been tougher on the
like
big banks and the
campaign
gun- and the
plan.
gun lobby.
Mm-hmm.
No one's been tougher
I think
in calling
Stuttering
out the current
Joe is
administration for
way
its
more
extremism,
effective.
its
Dude,
failure
that's
to
so
follow the
dark.
law, its
I don't
failure to
even
simply
know if Trump could
tell
pull
the
that off,
truth.
man.
No, it's you have to realize that we're not making fun of people
From
who
our
stutters. We're
families.
making fun
That's
of
where we get our strength.
Trump for being an
Kamala's
asshole.
dug
No, I mean, if Trump,
Jill and ours.
no, I mean, if Trump were to
I've said
do
many
that,
times,
I don't
no
think it
man
could
deserves
play
one
because I think
great
it's
love in
just
this
so
life, let
dark.
alone two. But I've
You know what I
known
mean?
two.
The dude came up with
losing my first
American
wife in a car accident.
Carnage and
Jill came
locked
into my
up
life.
children in cages.
Put our family back together.
Do you think Stuttering Joe is
Yeah, I don't think
darker
it's
than that?
Military mom.
No, I don't think it's beyond him, but I think that's the point
She
where
puts
it
her
would
mind to
fail.
it.
Because I think he could get
Just
away
get
with
out
like
of her
Crooked
way.
Hillary. I think he can get away with
She's gonna
Sleepy
get it
Joe.
was a
But
great
like it has to be like
And
dog
What
whistle
was
shit.
what was
It can't be
Comey's
that on the
slippery
nose.
slippery Comey?
Yeah.
Dude, I still
I'll
think that
always
was one
have
of
the
the
strength
best ones, man.
only
He
comes
hit
from
it on the fucking head.
Hunter, Ashley, all our grandchildren, my brothers, my sister. They give me courage. They lift me up.
What do
Wilder's
you
no
think
longer with
Joe
us.
said to Hunter when Hunter
Bo
started
inspires me every day.
dating Bo's wife?
Bo served our nation in uniform.
Wait,
That
I did
happened?
not know that.
Iraq and decorated.
Dude, I'm pretty sure they're married now.
So I take very personally
I mean, it happened in
the
Deadwood.
profound
right?
responsibility.
Wait,
of
what
serving
was
as
it in
Commander-in-Chief.
Deadwood?
Wasn't the sheriff's
president
wife
who
was his
stands
brother's
with our
wife, right?
allies
Was
And then
his
he died.
brother's
Make it clear
wife?
to our
Yeah.
adversaries,
Yeah.
The days of
Not
cozying
that
up
that
to
makes it
dictators
less
is over.
weird, but that's what I immediately thought of. I was like, oh, Deadwood.
You know, the show
America will
the
not
show
turn a
based in
blind
the
eye to Russian
1800s,
on the
you
head of the
know?
American soldier.
If anything, that makes it weirder because I was like,
No,
it's
I
like where
put
you
up
could
with
marry
foreign
your
interference in our
cousin
most
in like
sacred
1800 too.
democratic
You know what I
exercise,
mean?
Voting.
Hey, another point towards FDR, right?
Dude, my girlfriend made me watch Pride and Prejudice, and there was a point where their cousin tried to like come there and like marry the sisters.
For more
And I was like,
secure,
that's
peaceful,
fucking
and
weird, but it was
prosperous
the
world.
1800s.
You had to keep the money in the family, dude.
That's what it was. He was trying to keep the
This is, for
inheritance
us,
in the family.
One more urgent
I was gonna say, and how much money has Hunter Biden
Will
made?
we
You
be
know
the
what I mean?
generation
Gotta keep
50K a
that
month.
shit in the
finally
family.
wipes out the stain of racism?
Well, and that was just from one board, right?
Mhm.
I believe we're up to
You know that motherfucker was on multiple
believe we're
boards.
ready.
Yeah.
Just a week ago yesterday,
Dude, he's talking for
the
a
third
while.
anniversary of the events in Charlottesville. Close your eyes. Remember what you saw on television. Remember seeing those
Are you
neo-Nazis
closing your
and
eyes?
Klansmen and white supremacists coming out of fields with lighted torches.
Remember Charlottesville?
Veins bulging, spewing the same anti-Semitic bile heard across Europe in the 30s.
Ooh, fascism.
Remember the violent clash that ensued.
The sad
Between
thing
those
for me is
spreading
that
hate and those
that
with the courage to
this
stand
is going to
against it.
fucking play in the Democratic
Remember
world.
what the president said when asked?
Yeah.
Right. It's the same thing as
Said
the
they were
woman the first
very
night with
fine
her dead
people on
Trump
both
voting
sides.
father, right? The
Those
Democrats
wake
are
up
going to
call
go
for
nuts for that. They're going to be like, "Oh man, when
call to
he
action.
brought up Charlottesville, it was
At that
so
moment,
presidential."
I knew I'd have to run.
And I'm like, "This is
My father taught
I don't
us
know. I
that
think playing on
silence
these kind
was
of
complicity.
base
Never remain
emotions
silent
is
or
just
complicit.
fucking manipulative."
At the time,
Well, and look how he described it too. He goes,
I
"Close
said
your
we were in a
eyes
battle
and
for the soul of
remember
this nation.
what we saw. Their
we
veins
are.
bulging and spewing bile
You know, one of the
and
most
all
important
that shit." You know,
conversations
it's
I've had
extremely
this entire campaign.
visceral
It was
description
with someone who was
of
much too young to
your
vote.
enemy.
I met with 6-year-old Gianna Floyd the day before her daddy, George Floyd, was laid to rest. She's an
That's how he
incredible
opened his
little girl.
campaign, though. That's how he announced.
And I'll never forget it. When I leaned down,
Yeah, dude, I was
She looked in
convinced
my
that
eyes
that
and
was
she
a
said,
bad
and I quote,
move.
"Daddy
His opening
changed the world."
salvo
Daddy
of
changed the
video.
Her words burrowed deep
And then,
into my heart.
but the whole Democratic
They had
establishment
George
around
Floyd
me was just
murdered.
like, "Oh, this is a great video,
It's a breaking
great
point.
video."
Maybe John Lewis is passing the inspiration. But however it's come to be, however it's happened, America's ready, in John's words, to lay down, quote, the heavy burden of hate at last, and to end the hard work.
Yeah,
Moving
4 years
on
of Joe Biden's
our
going to give
systemic
us the
racism.
laying down of hate.
You know, American history tells us that it's been in our darkest moments that we've made our greatest progress.
Dude, hate is what this country's fucking founded on, man. It's our bedrock.
In this dark
I think maybe we just need to collapse at this point. I don't know if we deserve to continue on.
that we can find the light.
See, you know me, I'm always one that there's
You know,
always been
Many people
a
have heard me say this, but I've always believed
undertone
you can define America in one word.
of greatness there.
The defining
You
feature of
know,
America. Everything
again,
is
this is something we don't talk about enough, but in the
America,
early
everyone,
days, in the 1600s, early
given an
1700s,
opportunity to go
I mean,
as
you
far as
had
their dreams and
white,
God-given
black,
ability
Native
will take
American all working together
can never lose
to run away, to
times as
have
challenging
these little
as
minor
these, I
rebellions,
believe there's only
and
one way forward.
you know,
A
that
united
that
America. A united America.
kind of
United in our pursuit
thread
of a
has
perfect
always run
union.
against that
United
rebellion
in our dreams
against
of a better future
the
for us and for our
established way
children.
of doing things
United
has
in our
always been in
determination
America. And
make
so
the coming
that's
years
that's
bright.
always what I try to
Are you
keep
ready?
at the forefront of what I
believe
think
we are.
for me is the important
This is a
history of
great
America.
nation. We're a good and decent
There was
people.
I was listening to a story about FDR and how FDR was presented in the media very similar to how the media presents Donald Trump now, where he was just an idiot. He had no idea what he was doing. He was going to collapse the economy, all this shit. And in cities where there were multiple newspapers and every single newspaper came out against FDR, there's actually a direct correlation with FDR getting more votes. The theory being that Americans hate being told what to do, and the media going against them actually got him support.
And that's it, right? Americans hate authority.
Let us begin, you and I together. One nation, under God.
We hate authority.
United in our love for America. United in our love for each other.
It's our weakness and our strength.
You got to drink because Joe Biden is doing a dramatic, angry flourish for no reason.
This is our moment. This is our mission.
No, it's the
May
finish.
history be able to say that the end of this chapter
Yeah, this
of
is the
American
crescendo
darkness
for the
began
end.
here
But it
tonight.
shouldn't sound angry during this.
Love and hope and light join in the battle. For the
Joe
soul of
Biden
America.
doesn't do
The righteous warrior.
This is a battle
John, help
we
me out. It's
will win and we'll do it together.
piissimo
I promise.
What are you talking about?
when you
Thank
get
you. May God bless you.
de
May
crescendo.
God protect
Oh,
May God bless you.
Pianissimo.
Wait, what is this music? That did not go with the end of his speech. His speech was so
no, it was
fiery
way too
at the
angry.
end. And then now
There's
it's like,
everyone
"Love in
clapping. The board
world."
they didn't get rid of it.
But,
There's
man,
Jill. Look at Jill, dude. Jill's gonna be. I'll say this: Jill's gonna be a good first wife, dude.
yeah, she will. Can I just say though that it does suck a little bit for Joe and
God.
Kamala. Like,
Is that Kamala's husband?
I've never actually
They're not
seen.
even, are they going to get close? They are.
Wait, no, she's not married.
No, she is married.
She is?
Yes.
I thought she wasn't.
No, because we're gonna have our first second gentleman.
Oh.
Or something. I forget what they called him.
She wasn't married for some reason.
Something like that. It was like the second gentleman.
Yeah, but like, okay, so poor Joe has run for president like multiple times, kind of gave up on it, and then
I think this is his third time running.
it's third time running. He gave up on it after the first two, and then now this was finally his time, and he has to fucking do it on a sound stage while standing 18 feet apart from his VP and not even be able to get like the crowd or the balloons or any of that shit. That kind of sucks.
During a pandemic.
That sucks, dude. Like if you get all the way there, you want the crowd, you want the stage, you want the lights, you want the show, and he has to stand
Yeah, but
behind
if
the fucking
anyone
camera.
deserves it, Joe Biden deserves it. He's president in name only.
Oh, this is cute. What is this? Just the screen showing?
Yeah, they probably did it on like a
Normitage.
Well, we can just turn this off now, honestly.
But yeah, I mean that's if anyone deserves it, it's Joe Biden. I mean, again,
why?
The man has been a part of screwing the majority of the American populace for the last 40 years.
Yeah, but
50 years.
all of them have.
Yeah, so why don't any of them deserve this? They all deserve this. This pandemic is the icing on the cake of the American century. You know what I mean? We're done. We're finished.
I agree with that much.
We'll still exist in some, in a pretty powerful form. But, like, we're done now.
No,
I mean,
our hegemony is done. I mean, our local, like, geopolitic still stands. But, I mean, it's because we're next to fucking Canada.
But even then, we're not even, dude, when was the last time we had really any real prevalence in Central America? South America? Fuck, dude, the Mexicans won't even listen to us anymore.
Well, post-Trump, yes, but we also, like, led 15 fucking coups in South America and Central America.
Hey, baby, those were the good old days, though.
Yeah, well, we fucked up a lot of places, and just to be fair.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Sorry,
no more.
I think it's 11 coups that we led.
No more. We tried in Venezuela, dude, and look how that turned out. That was a goddamn shit show.
Completely dominating and being a dominant power are two different things.
That made the Bay of Pigs look competent. I mean, that's impressive.
I agree with Paul, but
Yeah, Trump can do no wrong. Media's fake. Everything's resistance. Twitter lies. That's been the show.
You pretty much wrapped me up like
I figured it would.
like a bear hug, dude.
Yep, you're welcome.
Trump 2020.
I'm just gonna
like a tick on a coon dog.
I'm just gonna cut the last 30 minutes of this, anyways. So
go fuck yourself.
The end.